Good morning. In accordance with Sections 45 and 53 of the Planning Act of 1990, as amended, this meeting of the Committee of Adjustment of the City of Toronto is called to order. My name is Zahir Bayat, and I will be chairing today's session. Panel members today are Yim Chan, Dylan Reed, and Ryan Bissonette, who will be joining us virtually. We acknowledge that the land we are meeting on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. Committee of Adjustment public hearings are now conducted in a hybrid in-person and virtual format. Some applicants and participants will make their submissions in person, and others will participate virtually by electronic means through WebEx. The meetings are also streamed on the Toronto City Planning YouTube channel, and anyone wishing to view the hearing may watch on YouTube. Those who want to participate virtually and have registered in advance will be connecting with their computer or telephone and have the option of participating via video or audio only. When your item is called, you will be unmuted by the moderator. For both in-person and virtual participants, Committee of Adjustment staff will share presentations submitted in accordance with the written submission deadline. People attending in person today who want to receive a copy of the decision of the committee on an application must fill out a decision request card, and those participating virtually need to submit a written request for a decision by email. If you do not agree with the decision of the committee, you may be able to appeal the decision to the Toronto Local Appeal Body, or in some limited circumstances to the Ontario Land Tribunal. However, the provincial government amended the Planning Act and generally removed the rights of third parties to appeal Committee of Adjustment decisions. Only the applicant, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, specified persons, and public bodies are permitted to appeal decisions of the Committee of Adjustment. Appeal instructions are set out at the bottom of the decision of the committee. Today, I will call each item in the order listed on the agenda. Where an application is uncontested, the agent or applicant may proceed with their presentation if desired. When the committee does not require a presentation, applicants are to advise the chair should they wish to speak to the committee. The committee may ask questions and/or take the matter into committee for a decision. Each speaker, including the applicant, will be given a maximum of 5 minutes to address the committee. I will comment when you are reaching the 5 minutes. Any presentation or the materials you wish to submit to the committee must have been emailed in advance of the hearing. Staff and committee members cannot accept materials at the hearing. When addressing the committee, please clearly state your name and address. Please remember to confine your remarks to the matters outlined in the application. The applicant or agent will proceed first and will make a presentation to the committee on the application. Then individuals, either in support or in opposition to the application, will be invited to speak. Generally, we first call on speakers in the hearing room and then those participating through WebEx. Committee members may ask questions of each speaker after they have finished their presentation. When all speakers are finished, the applicant or agent has an opportunity to rebut only those issues that were raised by the speakers. This will mark the end of the discussion. The application will then be taken into committee for a decision. Madam Deputy Secretary, are there any minutes of the last meeting that require adoption?
Good morning, Mr. Chair and panel members. No minutes are ready for adoption.
Thank you. Are there any declarations of interest of panel or staff?
Yes.
Councillor.
I'm
Reed.
Declaring a conflict of interest on item number 2.
Thank you, Mr.
I'm
Reed.
acquainted with one of the opponents.
Thank you.
I don't have any conflicts.
None? Okay. Seeing and no other ones, we'll proceed. Madam Deputy Secretary Treasurer, are there any requests for deferrals?
Through you, Mr. Chair, yes, we do have one item for deferral this morning. Item 15, municipal address 647 College Street, file number A0261/25TY. We could handle this matter at this time, and there are no files to be closed this morning.
Thank you. Let me just read this into the record. This is item number 15. Item number 15, 647 College Street. The committee had before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, 4 photographs of the subject property received March 26, 2025, and decision number A0243/07TEY affecting the subject property. We've also had correspondence from Toronto Engineering Department and support correspondence from Anthony Galati, 649 College Street, and correspondence in support from Madeline Pelly, 647 College Street. Do we have the agent with us?
Through you, Mr. Chair, yes, we do have the agent online. No registered speakers for this item.
15.
Hello, Ebtasam, you've been unmuted.
Good morning. Is this Mr. Creamy?
No,
Sal-
sorry. We need item number 15.
15.
Sal Creamy. He's not online? Okay. Through you, Mr. Chair, we don't have the agent online. However, this is an automatic deferral because there are missing variances. So the notice that did go out wouldn't have accurately identified all the variances that are required. So we could still hear a motion to defer the application.
Then I'll put it on,
Can we have you speak into the microphone?
sorry, yeah. So I put a motion to defer this case because of there's some missing variances, and then give the applicant time to make the corrections, and then we will reschedule them.
Thank you, Ms. Chan. Do we have a seconder, Mr. Reid? Thank you, Mr. Reid. All those in favor? Mr. Bissonnette? Thank you, Mr. Bissonnette. Thank you.
Defer.
Motion passes for deferral.
Through you, Mr. Chair, then we can move on with item number 1.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to move on to item number 1. Item number 1 is 61 Simpson Avenue. The committee had before it the following communication: a copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, 3 photographs of the subject property received December 31st, 2024. Arborist report received April 15, 2025. And tree protection plan received on April the 15th, 2025. We have also received staff reports from Tree Protection, Urban Forestry on May 21st, and an advisory staff report also from Urban Forestry received on May the 20th, 2025.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we do have the agent online, no registered speakers for this item.
Thank you.
Hello, good
Ebtisan.
morning.
Hi, good Ms. Mahrouz. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Can you
morning.
hear me?
We can
Good
hear you.
morning.
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you. Let me just
Okay, perfect,
see.
thank you.
This is a fairly straightforward application. I just want to see if any of my colleagues require a presentation or not.
No.
Any
I prepared the presentation.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I prepared the presentation. It is in the very late material folder. Can a city staff please put it on the screen if possible?
But just hold on a second. I don't detect any request for a presentation at all.
Yeah.
None?
Well,
Mr. Bissonnette, none? Okay.
we cannot hear you. Yeah.
Ms. Mahrouz, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
We don't require a presentation. This is a fairly straightforward application. You've got 2 variances. So we'll take it into committee for decision.
I don't have question, but I'd like to just make a point out, make a comment about the urban forestry advisory comment. So we believe that you will follow the advice, right? Because it seems that no one's interest to injure this healthy tree. Okay, right.
Yes, we have an arborist report here, and we carried this arborist report to a structural engineer, and we designed a foundation system to keep the tree critically uninjured and safe.
Can anyone hear that? I can't.
Didn't quite follow. I think we're having a little difficulty following. I wonder if you could just speak a little bit slowly and
Okay.
not too directly into your mic.
Yes. So we hired an arborist, and we received an arborist report with recommendation, which was carried out to a structural engineer who did a design that using a helical pile system.
Okay.
To keep the tree roots safe and critically uninjured.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah, it's good to hear that. That's what I want to ask. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yes. Yeah. That I'm glad you hire engineer to design the system. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions before we move back into committee? No? Okay. So let's take this into committee, and I'll look for a motion or any discussion.
Yeah, that was my own concern. I thought they did explain in the presentation that they have a revised tree protection plan, but I just want to assure that's going to happen. I don't have any problem with this application. They are looking for 2 variances, and I do not think those are major. They're pretty minor and straightforward. So I will make a motion to approve with the urban forestry advisory memo.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we don't need
I can second that.
Oh, I see.
We don't need to include that as a condition. It's just an advisory comment.
Okay, so I'll take that advice. Okay, so just the motion is still the same, but without that.
To approve. Thank you. Do we have a seconder?
Right.
Mr. Bissonnette?
Second that.
Mr. Bissonnette, thank you. Okay, all those in favor? Thank you. You have your approval, Ms. Mahrouz. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Reid. Thank you. And we'll move on to item number 2. Item number 2 is 37 Roxborough Street West. The committee had before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations. A revised site plan, floor plans, and elevations received May 20th, 2025. 4 photographs of trees on the subject property received January 25th, 2025. Covering letter from Franco Romano, the agent, received April 22nd, 2025. And some decision numbers related to the property, 3 different decision numbers, and an OMB decision affecting the subject property as well, no date indicated. Agent email correspondence with the Committee of Adjustment about revised plans received May 20th, 2025. Presentation materials from Mr. Romano, the agent, received May 21st, 2025. And we have staff reports from Urban Forestry and Community Planning. Urban Forestry, May 21st, 2025, and Community Planning on May 21st, 2025. We also have support letters from 2 form letters from 31 and 43 Roxborough Street West, 1 form letter from 49 Roxborough Street West, pardon me, 1 form letters in support that was withdrawn, received May 22nd, 2025, and a second support letter withdrawn on May 23rd, 2025. We also have correspondence in opposition from 41 Roxborough Street West, two residents at the same address. Correspondence in opposition from 35 Roxborough Street West, and a 30-signature petition in opposition signed by owners and occupants on Roxborough Street West. We also have materials from in opposition from 39 Roxborough Street West.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we do have the agent online as well as a number of registered speakers in opposition.
Thank you. Mr. Romano, are you there?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the panel. Franco Romano, Action Planning, 321 Lakeshore.
Thank you very much, Mr. Romano. Mr. Romano, we will need a presentation. As you're aware, we have a number of folks in opposition. So whenever you're ready, you've got your 5 minutes.
Yep. Yes, thank you kindly. If staff can bring up my presentation materials, I think it's listed there as E4 presentation materials, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Bingo. Excellent. Thank you very kindly. So the way this slide is set up is north is towards the right-hand side of the page. So west is to the top and east is to the bottom. So the subject site is located on the south side of Roxborough Street West, fairly compact lot fabric in terms of lot frontage. Lot depths are very deep. And what you'll see here in gray outline is the existing footprint of the dwelling. And at the front, there is a bay window projection, which you'll see towards the bottom right on slide number 1. Thank you. What is being proposed here is an elevator addition that's shown in yellow along the west front portion of the wall. So the front, there is a front yard setback variance of 6.13 meters, whereas 6.94 meters is required. That represents 81 centimeters, a variance of 81 centimeters for the elevator addition. The elevator is obviously to improve accessibility as the elderly occupants, including parents-in-law, are trying to navigate the 3-story dwelling. Now, the elevator itself, that shaft itself is 1.84 meters in length or depth, but only 81 centimeters of that reflects the variance for front yard setback. So if we look at it on this site plan, the bay window is about 73 centimeters. So what is being proposed is just a few centimeters, 6 centimeters longer than what a bay window or some other window projection could occur in the front wall, and achieve the same thing with no variance. If we look at the next slide, slide number 2, this is some measurements of front yard setbacks within close proximity to the subject property. Roxborough Street West here is very long, so I didn't go and measure every single front yard setback, but we'll see that front yard setbacks are not uniform. The front walls of dwellings do undulate, so it's a good strong front wall alignment, but those measurements do differ. And we'll see that there are several, at least 3 that are less than 6.13 meters in front yard setback. And it's quite common to have a building beside one another with 40, 50, 60, 70 or more centimeter difference in terms of a front yard setback. And that includes dwellings that may be semi-detached dwellings. On slide number 3, staff can go to the next slide. I've highlighted where the elevator is being proposed, and you'll see that it is the design is trying to complement and blend into the existing building, so it's more of a projection, and you'll see the bay window that goes from the first to the top on the left-hand side there, so it's not dissimilar to that type of projection. At the upper floor level, the third floor, it's a partial third floor. There is a dormer addition that's being added, and you'll see that the dormer that is being removed, and then there's one that's being replaced, and those are to complement one another. On the next slide, slide number 4, this is a view from east to west. So we're standing off to the side and we're looking westerly, just like the site plan is showing. So you'll see the bay window and then the elevator addition, and then the dormers that are being proposed at the top as being redone. That is basically a little lower than what the existing condition is. And then the roof line is just a little bit taller, but not that significantly taller. The permitted height here is 13 meters, but you'll see that the elevator addition is 8.79 meters. And then the top of the dormer would be 9.49 meters. If you go to the next slide, we'll see from the view west to east, we'll see that same sort of illustration of the dormer condition.
Mr. Romano, sorry to interrupt. You've got 20 seconds to go.
Yes, sir. And on the next slide, slide number 6, we'll see that there's a variation in front facades along the street. So I'm happy with the staff condition for the tree permit, although there's going to be no tree injury, and for the planning staff condition of approval to tie it to the site plan. Subject to any questions, Mr. Chairman? Thank you kindly.
Thank you very kindly. Colleagues, would you like to ask any questions at this point, or wait until?
Yeah, we hear the
Thank you.
speakers. Because I do have questions, yes.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we do have residents here in person that wish to speak to this item, so I'd ask them one by one to come up to the podium.
Thank you. Who's up first?
You'll have to go to the podium
Yeah, to
first.
the microphone, please. Your name and address, please.
No,
the
sorry,
mic.
just sit down, please. Okay, now.
Thank you. I'm Judy Bloomstock, and I'm at 39 Roxborough Street West.
So you're the next
I did
door.
bring a presentation, and I wonder if you could put that. It's one that was submitted very late, because I had to make a bit of a change to it. It's a PowerPoint, or it was a PDF PowerPoint.
Very late.
Thank you.
What's the address? What's your address?
39.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So should I start now? Okay, thanks. Thanks. So I'm here as a neighbor on the street to ensure that our opinions are heard, and I hope our opinions matter. Along with other neighbors, I've been out canvassing. You've got the petition it was referred to, and all the proximate neighbors oppose the plan to put the elevator at the front of 37. The precedent is not what the street wants due to impact on the streetscape being viewed as negative, and the elevator placement elsewhere is preferable. We have not seen any alternative locations for the elevator. It's not just me, you've got the petition, but I would like to talk about the direct impact on my home. So, in terms of the summary of concerns, I'm concerned about loss of privacy and light. I'm concerned about the extreme proximity of this elevator to me. I am concerned about my neighbors at number 35. They're going to be speaking separately, and just and the incompatibility just generally with the streetscape. So if you just go to the next slide, please, just to show you the proposed renovation site. The gray house is the number 37, the subject of today, and the red house behind it is where I am. If you go to the next slide, you can see the proposed outline of the third floor addition as well as the elevator in yellow. This is, if you go to the next slide, very close to my house. I tried to measure with my iPhone. It's not quite accurate, but it's about 3 feet from that window. And if you go to the next slide, you can see just what that looks like from that second floor window. So this is the addition, which you've seen previously. And then next slide, please. This shows you the side of my house. I don't know if that's really visible, it's very faint, but this shows you the side elevation of my house, and the windows I'm going to be talking about losing views and privacy are shown in the next slide. I've outlined them in a heavy black outline. So those are the 4 windows that I'm talking about. If you go to the next slide, you can see the second floor front bedroom, which is in that little rounded turret. This is what it looks like now. And I've tried to explain that this is, these windows are going to be severely impacted due to the proximity of the elevator. So if you would go to the next slide, you can just see how close that is to the neighbor's proposed elevator site. And next slide, what those views will look like if there's an elevator there. I also showed you there are 2 other bedrooms that are impacted, the bedroom right behind this one, so just a bit south of this one, as well as the 3rd floor. So this is the 2nd floor window just behind it, and there's a bay window there which would also be blocked. And then if you go to the next slide, you can see the 3rd floor, sorry, yeah, go ahead. The 3rd floor and the porch, which would all be blocked. So I think I'm making the point that my privacy and light and views would be severely impacted by this addition. Of course, the neighbors are here from 35. They'll talk about what's the impact on their house. But in terms of the streetscape, it is pretty much a straight line right from where we are all the way up several houses on either direction. I've tried to show that, and I think it's the next slide as well, where you can see that in the proximate area, setbacks are very uniform. So we'd like to request that this proposal be denied. I think it's not just me, but it's many on the street that are feeling that. Here, I'm just saying in summary, the property outlines of 39 are not shown on plans A1.1, A1.2, A1.3, A1.4. The front of number 35 has a bay window, which will also suffer from less light. Number 39, that's me, and all remaining and close by neighbors were opposed to this, and we're seeking a change to the plans to place the elevator elsewhere on the property, not at the front. My final slide, I guess I have time for this, is to ask the committee to reject or revise the application to place the elevator elsewhere, to ensure the public plans reflect the impact on the neighboring property, to consider the light, quiet, and privacy of the neighbor's properties, acknowledge the potential devaluation. I know that's not necessarily a Committee of Adjustment issue, but we do feel very strongly about this, and acknowledge the neighborhood opposition to this.
Thank you. If you could just, if you're done, fine. I was just going to say you're beginning to run out of time.
Yeah, thank you. I made it.
Could
Thank
you
you so
just
much
hold
for
on
your
1 second? I
consideration.
just want to see if my colleagues have any
Just a
questions
very,
for
very
you.
quick question. I think maybe you did mention, but that's just to confirm. Have you seen anything similar in the, maybe in the walking distance from,
No, and this is actually, I forgot to mention this. There are no elevators at the front of any buildings, and we are concerned with the precedent this would set. I mean, if everybody did this, we would all be blocking each other's light, and I think that would not be optimal.
No, that's what I wanted to see, but
yeah.
you have seen something similarly done.
No,
area.
no.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chen. Mr. Bissonette, could you give me a shout every time in case you need to ask a question or have something to say? Because I may not see you on the camera.
I certainly will do. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Forgot to thank Ms. Blomstock. And a name and address, please.
My name is Paul Bravi. I'm from 35 Roxborough Street West, and we are the home that is attached to 37. And if we can put this down on the screen. Pardon me? We good?
All set?
Can we be?
Thank you. Yes, please.
Thank you. Firstly, this variance is a major variance. It's not a minor one. It has a large impact on the abutting and adjacent properties. It will completely deface and devalue our property. There have already been several variances approved for this property since 2012. And this is a massive addition that adds bulk in size. It's 1,000 cubic foot elevator, an elevator shaft sitting in the front of the building, and it requires almost a doubling of the third floor space to be able to accommodate the elevator, which is shown on the screen right now. And in 2012, the Committee of Adjustments rejected the request from this property to go from a GFA of 284 square meters, and it concluded back then that it was not minor. And now the ask is to go to 300 square meters. And again, this is not a minor adjustment. The general intent and the purpose of the bylaws are not maintained. The plans are not correct and are fraught with errors and omissions and don't represent reality. The decks are not built in accordance with the decision of the OMB in 2013, and there's a total disregard for the established zoning and rules. There's currently a two-bedroom rental apartment in the basement, which is not represented on the plans. And the property line is approximately 1.5 meters from a city tree. We question the rigor of the application. The plans and documents are not true despite having signed the declaration on the application. They are full of errors. Even one of the variances quoted is a variance for 37 Roxborough Street East, not West, and it's in the application. We believe they are skirting the intentions of the bylaw by expanding through multiple requests for variances. This is a death by 1,000 cuts. The proposal is not desirable. The addition will result to a negative visual impact onto the adjacent houses. The different setbacks on the street are primarily porches, which protrude to the front yard, and not a three-story addition as per the pictures. No information has been provided on the noise that the elevator will create and the impact it will have on our property, and no detailed information provided as to why the elevator cannot be incorporated into the house. The elevator shaft in front of the house will set a bad precedent as well as block views and sunlight to the neighboring homes. And even the applicants recognize the addition is undesirable. They have made several plan changes, including adding fake windows to increase its appeal. The latest version of the plan has 5 different window styles, including 4 fake windows. We also have almost unanimous consensus on the undesirability of the proposal from the neighborhood. We were able to garner 30 signatures in a short time period, in a petition which is included in our documents in opposition to the project. There was only 1 letter of support and 2 withdrawals claiming the applicants misrepresented their project. We maintain this is a rental unit, and it opens the possibility to use the 3rd floor as for short-term rentals. The applicants could easily add an elevator to the 2nd floor for their aging parents, which is way cheaper and without defacing the neighborhood. And the purpose of the elevator is inconsistent with the many steps the applicants is required to navigate on the outside of their home. Full of steps to go up to the deck, down to the garage. So this whole issue of elevator doesn't jive. and the general intended purpose of the official plan are not maintained. The development is not consistent with the objectives of the official plan and does not respect or reinforce the existing character of the building and streetscape. Essentially, it's a 3-story elevator shaft with fake windows that will reduce and eliminate sight lines to both 35 and 39. Now, I want to conclude by summarizing a post on our neighborhood blog, which I think eloquently summarizes why we are here today. Here's what the post. Interestingly, when another Roxborough West homeowner sought permission for a front driveway on similar grounds, i.e. elderly parents with medical needs, the request was disallowed. I understand why one would wish to have their parents in the home. However, city planning should not be based on a series of one-off decisions based on the needs of one resident. It ends up in bad planning decisions that are then used as precedents that further change neighborhoods, and not always for the best. At the end of the day, my view is that the opinions, enjoyment, and the needs of the immediate neighbors ought to be given weight. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just bear with me one moment. Let's see if there's any questions from committee members.
Yes, I do have a quick question. I believe you can explain to me. I just want to understand how the site works. It has a common use laneway at the back, right? And the garage is...
There's a public laneway in the back, yes. Yes.
Is it like this property will have a garage and use the public laneway to get into a garage rather than stop at the front curb?
Well, if they park in the public laneway, yes, they can. They don't access the house from the public laneway. They would have to go, in this particular case, I think he has 9 steps to go up to get to the patio, another 9 steps to go up to his deck, another 6 steps to go down to his side door. So there's a lot of steps up and down to be able to use that garage.
Most residents will have the garage at the rear, and then they will use it, and then they can make it to their house.
Yes, correct.
Okay, and what I'm trying to say, it doesn't seem to have a front yard parking pad for all.
There is no front yard parking pad, no.
Yeah, okay, understand. That's why I just try to kind of logical how this thing. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Bissonnette, any questions? None?
No,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very kindly, sir.
Thank you.
Just checking to see if anybody in the audience wants to speak to this item. Just make sure that we didn't miss anyone. See none. Okay, through you, Mr. Chair, then we'll hear from those that are virtual. So we will unmute the owner at 521 Atlas Avenue.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Jamie Shadletsky.
Hi, good morning. Sorry, didn't get your address?
521 Atlas Avenue, York,
Thank you.
Ontario.
Thank you. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you. Just to clarify, I am not a homeowner. I am representing the homeowners at 35 and 39 Roxborough.
I just wonder, perhaps we need the addresses of the folks you're representing.
Sure. That would be 35 Roxborough Street West and 39 Roxborough Street West.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we've already heard from both of these individuals. They're here in person.
Okay.
Ms. Shadletsky?
Yes?
I don't know if you just heard what was expressed. The folks you are claiming to represent are already here and have presented in person.
Right, I understand. I think the intention was for them to just share some thoughts afterwards, and my presentation is more general. And
I'm afraid they've already had their 5 minutes each. They've had their time, and you are not a homeowner, from what I understand. So I don't believe you're in position to do a presentation on their behalf. They've presented.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. One of the owners of 35 Roxborough, Anna, she has not presented. She would like for me to present on her behalf.
So,
through you, Mr. Chair, I believe she's partnered with the speaker that spoke here. And she was asked if she wanted to speak, and she said she was observing.
Sorry to interrupt again. Just through conversations with Mr. Jordan Chow, it was not clear that that they had shared presentations with him. It was not clear that their sharing of some feelings on this application would, not permit me to speak, as there are 3 individual homeowners.
So are you going to be speaking to different concerns that we've already heard from? I mean,
No,
you have to understand that we have to follow protocol.
Absolutely.
So we've
The
heard
nature
from
of
both the
my-
homeowners, and they've each had their 5 minutes, and so we need to proceed.
Right, I understand. The nature of my presentation is more policy framework and principles. This is not just a repetition of the same ideas.
But I'm puzzled because we do have, for each address, we have 5-minute presentation. It could be a couple who own the house, and they would be sharing the 5 minutes. So both the addresses that you claim to be representing, they've had their 5 minutes each. And so we're done with that address. I understand you're saying you've got different issues you want to raise, but that, I imagine, should have been raised by the individuals that have already previously presented.
So I think that maybe it was just a misunderstanding in conversation with Mr. Chow, that I wasn't sure that they were going to be presenting themselves, but they all showed up in person. And so I guess if the sequencing were different, that I was there in person and I could have presented first, then they could have opted to not speak. And I feel like they're not being given the opportunity to have made that decision because it was misunderstood that them speaking would not allow me to speak.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I don't believe there is any misunderstanding here because we have everyone listed here as a registered speaker. And if the intent was for this speaker to speak on behalf of the 2 homeowners, then even though they're here in person, they would have told us that we need to hear from this speaker for the 5 minutes. And if there was any time left over, then they could step in and speak. So
Letsky, I do believe at this point we need to move on. We've got a number of other speakers who need to speak. The folks that
there's
you
also a petition.
hold on, please. The folks that you purport to represent have presented. We've heard their presentations. Questions have been asked of them. And we'd like to move on to the next speaker, please.
Sorry, just one more interruption. There was another neighbor at 41 by the name of Mr. Kevin Doyle, who was also part of some of our discussions. And I believe that he purposefully did not offer to speak because he believed that I would be speaking on everyone's behalf.
We don't have that indication.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we do have Kevin Doyle on our registered speakers list, and we are ready to unmute to hear from him. So we can unmute Kevin Doyle, ask him if he wishes to give up his 5 minutes, and you can speak on behalf of him.
Okay.
So, Kevin Doyle.
This is Kevin Doyle at 41 Roxborough Street West, and I'm happy to defer or give my time up to Jamie. I think it's critical that she be heard from, and I am in complete opposition with the proposal as is. Jamie, over to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Doyle. We'll let Ms. Shedletsky speak on your behalf. Thank you. Ms. Shedletsky, do you want to go ahead?
Okay.
You've got your 5
Yeah,
minutes.
I apologize for that. You got it. Okay, I just wanted to take a few moments of your time to highlight that on behalf of this neighborhood, they do not feel that this is minor in numeric terms or in planning impact. The variances being proposed represent an increase in scale and massing that's not consistent here. The FSI is over almost 38% increase. The front yard setback reduction is almost 12%. Also feel that there is only 2 variances is misleading. I think we need to look at the history of prior intensification, which represents a sort of piecemeal expansion. So you see in 2012, the GFA was significantly already increased, and the dwelling depth was increased by 30%. And then in 2019, the, the ancillary building floor area was increased by 31.5%. There's no depth variance here due to the kind of funny nature of a lot addition at the front. That doesn't trigger a dwelling depth, even though the dwelling depth is hugely oversized here. And there's no length maximum contemplated in the bylaw just in this residential zone, but in any other residential zone, there would be an over 2 meter length variance because this is a 19.25 meter deep house. It is very deep. If you look at the next 3 slides, I'm showing first the front elevation, then the east, and then the west elevation. And I'm just highlighting what the applicant has shown in yellow is sort of misleading because what I've shown in orange is the additional impact of the massing. So it's not just a yellow bump out of an elevator shaft, but also this additional extra floor area on the 3rd floor. And on every single floor that we see this addition, it's not just a single bump out of a bay window, which would be more in keeping with the neighborhood. And if you go to the next slide, I'm showing you some setback patterning. Right now, as you see in the blue line, this part of the block has a very beautiful uniform setback. If you see the line in red, that's what's being proposed as the front yard setback reduction, which would cause a huge disruption in the prevailing rhythm and character of this portion of Roxborough. And sure, there are outliers of shorter setbacks, but those are outliers that we can't rely on to use as a precedent, or else we risk undermining the neighborhood stability and erode an established character that the zoning is trying to protect and the official plan. The next slide, you're going to see, just wanted to highlight some of the massing context here. I've circled the 35 Roxborough, which is the semi-detached other half of it. And bumping out 37 Roxborough creates this visual and functional disconnect and a real awkward relationship, not to mention real impacts of light loss and privacy loss. And it sets a funny precedent to have these mismatched, non-symmetrical, semi-detached dwellings. And if you look at the next slide, we look at the next neighbor, which is a historically preserved designated, this one where you see on the right side, it's a historically designated dwelling. It has beautiful features, especially the 2nd-story turret style window. And the proposal should be reinforcing and protecting this beautiful feature that's unique to this neighborhood. Instead, it's blocking privacy and light, and it's really risking what should be preserving a beautiful feature here. And on the next slide, I'm just highlighting some ideas on whether it's minor. It's not minor in numeric terms, and I think that it is a really bulky, massed proposal. It's spread over 3 stories. It's over 82 square meters above the limit. And on the next slide, I'm looking at whether it's appropriate development or use of the land. Well, I think the combination of that it's a semi-detached, that there are narrow lot conditions with very short side yard setbacks, and that we have sensitive neighbor interfaces that make the proposed massing and setbacks truly problematic. Might be that there are outliers, but here on this property, it doesn't make sense. And on the next slide, I'm just highlighting again the zoning bylaw compliance. We're really pushing the limit of what the zoning contemplates here. And on the next slide, I'm again looking at official plan policies. So 4.15 and 2.31, we're not seeing neighborhood character being respected, and we're not protecting the stability of a really special neighborhood here. To conclude, it's not minor, it's not appropriate development of the land, it doesn't comply with the zoning bylaw or the OP, and good planning needs to be grounded in contextual fit, compatibility, and respect for neighbors and local character, which are all absent. We don't want elevators bumping out everywhere, as my neighbor friend said, so we respectfully ask that you not approve this proposal, and thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Ms. Shazlewski. Perfect timing. Thank you. Just hold on a second. Let me just see if my colleagues have any questions for you.
I just...
Ms. Chan?
Yes, I do have one question. The first slide, you were showing that they have asked for increase or second about the stats in terms of GFA. Yes, that one. Oh, sorry, the previous one. Yeah. Oh, yes, here. Okay. No, it's the
store.
Yes, this one. This you said. Yeah, I want to take a look at it. And 2012, they asked for 13% almost, and then to the curve, and then when 2019, they bumped up to 31, and then now is what? What is the percentage of this current application? Did you?
The FSI is an increase in 38%.
38, okay. That's what I want to find out. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah.
Mr. Bissonnette, any questions for the speaker?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very kindly. We'll move on to the next speaker.
Through you, Mr. Chair, then we'll hear from Deborah.
Ms. Thier? And Deborah Ann?
Okay, through you, Mr. Chair, Deborah is not online, so we will move on to Holly Robertson.
Thank you. Ms. Robertson, are you there?
Hello?
Hi, Ms. Robertson.
Hi.
Could we get your name and address for the record, please?
Yes, my name is Holly Robertson, and I am at 44 Roxborough Street West.
Thank you. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I don't have a very technical very technical comments to make. I'm approaching this as a neighbor who's across the street, kitty corner. So it's not going to affect my light, but it will affect the visuals in the neighborhood. I just want to say that I think everybody supports multi-generational housing, but I also think that it's important that when these kind of proposals are made, that people take the time to consult with their neighbors and not affect the rights of the neighbors. So that's really, I guess, my main point there. I am concerned about the precedential value of it. I'm not quite sure how the Planning Act works, whether all these decisions are ad hoc or whether if there's one elevator put on, that means anybody can put an elevator. Maybe the planning committee can speak to that point afterwards, because we do know that there were other requests down the street for placement of a parking pad to give access for elderly people, and that was refused. So that's one point. I just wanted to also say that there are no elevators in the neighborhood right now. And so the noise of the elevator is unknown. And for the people that are right beside it, that is a real concern. I also am concerned that because there seem to be some variances that have been given in the past, and then those have not necessarily been followed to the letter. We're just concerned as to how that is going to play out if this is approved. So I'm short. I'm not spending a lot of time, but I would appreciate some comment from the planning committee as to how the precedents work. Thank you.
Thank you very kindly. Just hold on a second to see if any questions for you. Ms. Chan, Mr. Okay, thank you. Ms. Bissonnette, no questions?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we've heard from all speakers, so we can go back to the agent.
Thank you very much. Mr. Romano? Mr. Romano, are you there? Mr. Romano?
Yes, good afternoon. Good morning, Mr. Chairman. I can only respond after I'm being unmuted. So
okay,
I appreciate
no problem. Thank you. You've heard all the comments from people in opposition. If you could please provide some responses.
Yes, if staff can bring up that last presentation material, because I had not seen this before. I understand it was submitted late yesterday. Not my presentation material, it's presentation 02H3D, the last one. Yeah, pages 8 and 9, please. Excellent, thank you. So in terms of light and shade, you'll see that this photograph illustrates that the subject site will not generate any shadow impact whatsoever to the west. sun trajectory in this northern hemisphere that we're in falls to the back of the subject site, so into the rear yard. There is no shade and no shadow that's being impacted. And I will also note number 39 on the right-hand photograph here. You'll see that turret and the windows. And it is not possible to look out or look into those windows, given that those blinds are routinely and down. They were down when I took photographs back in 2012 for the OMB decision relating to the rear addition, and they continue to be down frequently. And we'll see them in photographs, not only this photograph, but you'll see them on any Google image, preview image, and any photographs that I've provided in my slides. But you'll also see in this semi-detached dwelling is that these two buildings are not, these two dwellings, 41 to the left and 37, I guess, 37. So the semi, they're not identical. They are not identical. So we'll see the third floor dormer. The third floor dormer that forms part of the proposal has no variances associated with it. There are no variances associated with the third floor dormer component. So I saw the illustrations both on this package and earlier submissions that it's misleading, this yellow that I'm showing on my slides. That's incorrect. That is not where the variance is. The variance is for an 81 centimeter projection into the rear, into the front yard. And that projection is imperceptibly different from what that existing bay window is on the subject property. And the bay window next door in the semi is actually forward of the bay window on the subject property. So none of those are being affected. And we'll see that the side yard setback for the proposed addition is zoning bylaw compliant. It's larger than zoning bylaw compliant. So the turret is actually on the property line. So there's no impact in that regard. If you go back to my slides, please, staff, my slides, we'll see that the GFA component of the variance that's in front of this panel today is 1.4 square meters. That's it. It's not the percentages that the last planner gave. It's not the numbers that the previous people gave. It is 1.4 square meters of additional GFA and FSI. And to go back to the 2012 committee decision, because one of the panel members asked about the variance increases that were done before. The existing site development at that time was at 0.74. And the proposal was at 0.78. So it only increased by 0.04 times the area of the lot. It's not an increase from 0.6. So today, the variance request is not an increase from 0.6 to 0.83. It's a variance request to add 1.4 square meters of GFA that triggers a front yard setback variance. And that front yard setback variance would be 6 centimeters different than what would be allowed as a bay window projection. That is minor in every sense of the term, Mr. Chairman. In terms of what the GFA addition is in total, and I'm not sure why staff is scrolling through here. If staff can bring us back to my slide, please, to my slide presentation. So the GFA of total for what is at variance and what is not at variance is to add 16.1 square meters of floor area. So that is the total GFA that's being added, but the variance component is only 1.4 square meters. So some of the descriptions that were given by the persons in opposition, and even the images that they are showing, are misleading, incorrect, and an exaggeration. I heard through the panel that there was a question about access. The accessibility of this unit is not exclusively to the laneway and the garage. And on that point, the garage was a replacement garage under another variance. So the access here is pedestrian oriented. And
Mr. Romano, if you can just wrap up, please.
Yes, one gets
Thank
into
you.
the house, and then the elevator is to facilitate access within the house. The elevator is not to access from outside of the house. So once the person is in the house, the pedestrian access that they are using to get within a 30-second walk of Yonge Street is at the front door. You use the front door, you get in, you want to go to the third floor, you would take the elevator. So I would submit that the variances are minor in nature. Thank you. And again, these are not fake windows that are being proposed here, another exaggeration.
Thank you, Mr.
that's being
Romano.
done.
Thank you very much. Let me just see if my colleagues have any questions for you.
Yes, I do.
Ms. Chan has a question for
Yes,
you.
I do. I just want to make a comment on your last comment. No one says they are fake except that your drawings stated they are fake windows. It's not, no one else said that, yeah.
That's incorrect. If you go to the May
Yeah, on the
20th
drawing, it
submission,
says fake window though. I saw some on the elevation
not the-
drawings, they are marked as fake. And
through you, Mr. Chairman, if you go to
It's
the
okay.
May 20 drawings,
it's okay, that's a minor thing, it's not my question. I have two questions. The first question is, if you look at the photograph of your photograph, photograph, it's clearly so that there was at least two steps to your front door that you're proposing to have the elevator. So are you changing the slope of that path so that you can reach to that the ground floor? But you're not proposing that on your plans or your statement? That you have to make moderation to your front path, let's say, because you have to make two steps up, right?
to the front porch.
Yeah,
Chair?
no, the front entrance. Yeah, you have a photograph showing the front entrance. There are two steps, and the photograph. Let's go to the photographs. The first photograph.
That's slide 6.
Not slides, photographs, yes. In our package, yes. You zoom in the front, no, I have a photograph showing your front elevator, yeah, this one.
Item E1.
Yes, yeah, that one. You see there are two steps, right? So in order to get to your front, to the ground floor, you have to somehow make it up there, get to your elevator. Or you have to, I do not know, I'm just asking the question is, are you making changes to the slope of this front walkway or path? Yeah.
Yes, thank you for that question. Through you, Mr. Chairman. That front door and those steps to the front door, it's basically one step up and then you're up to the threshold. Those are staying the same. There are no steps into the elevator. In order to access the elevator, one goes into the front door, you go in, close the door.
Yeah, I understand when you make it up to the front ground floor, no problem, but I'm talking about at grade, right? From
There's no
exterior.
changes to grade there.
So how do you jump up to, if you have to use elevator? Oh, I guess you can step up, it's not like for wheelchair, right? This is not for wheelchair?
Not for wheelchair accessibility, no. It's just a...
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay,
And again,
thank
if we
you.
go to the-
Second question is that some of the speakers mentioned that at the moment there are two rental units in this property. Is that true?
Thank you for that question. Through you, Mr. Chair. It is an owner-occupied dwelling, and there's a second suite within that dwelling today, yes.
The second suite is in the basement, and you share the elevator. So the purpose of my question is that there are more than just one like household owner. You will use this elevator. It will be serving 2 units. Is that right? Yeah.
Through Mr. Chair, no. The elevator is, it's a hydraulic elevator, so they're very silent. And there's only footings to allow for that addition to occur. So the elevator is actually not going to the basement level.
Oh, not going to the basement. And then you mean the basement unit will not be able to use this elevator to get to it, even if it's a rental?
Correct.
Okay. All right. That's my questions, and thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Chen. Mr. Bissonnette, do you have any questions for Mr. Mr. Romano?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Romano, I just have a quick question. There's an area just at the back of the house, almost directly behind the proposed elevator location. I believe on this first floor, it's a studio or a study area that there's an indent at the rear. Was there any consideration given to perhaps locating an elevator at that spot rather than at the front?
Thank you for that question, Mr. Chairman. This is one of the discussions I did have with staff, but I'm not sure. Where do you see the studio, sir? Which
Sorry,
floor?
bear with me. If I look at, this is, oh, that's the basement, and let me go back to the first floor. Main floor plan. Okay, it's actually not the studio. It's when you look at the kitchen, living room, foyer. So it's part of the kitchen area. I suppose the very large open space that you enter before you hit the kitchen section. There's to the right of it, I believe there's a window, and that's where the indent occurs.
Yeah, it's like this dining area. Yeah.
Yeah.
So part of the issue here is that it would this is a dwelling that has radiant heating, so there's pipes and in-floor heating everywhere. So that formed part of the consideration in terms of placement of the elevator. Also, if you go to at that level and then the level above, the second floor, it would basically blow out the bathroom on that second floor.
I see.
And on the third floor, it would involve a larger addition because then we're looking to, it would be an addition next to the staircase, and then you'd also have to blow out the bathroom. So one of the concerns when we're doing a retrofit is how can it fit in? I mean, the owners even looked at stair lifts in order to not even do an elevator, but these stairs are so narrow that it's not practical. You just can't do it. So there's a number of considerations there. I did talk to staff about the rear addition, and again, it would involve more floor area in order to rework the interior of the house at 3 levels. And again, the radiant heating would come into play, so it would make it prohibitive. Not saying that it's not possible, but it would involve quite a significant alteration to the building in order to accommodate it that way. And the design at the front with the 81 centimeter variance for a 3.1 square meter box, I suppose, with windows, and they're not fake windows. Again, the May 20th drawing show that they are real windows, is the most sensitive design that was arrived at.
Thank you, Mr. Romano. Thanks for the explanation. I see the technical issues that you raised. Thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions for Mr. Romano before we take it into committee?
No, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Romano.
You're welcome.
Colleagues, we'll take this into committee and wait for some responses from you, any discussion before we look for a vote, a decision.
Yeah, I can say I'm really struggling with this one. You know, I do understand the need and want to stay in your home and as you age and live in a place that you love. I am worried about how this will change the neighborhood and facades of homes on a beautiful street. And, I do wonder if there is a different way to build a lift in a way that neighbors and the community are supportive of. So I will say that I am struggling with this decision. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Chan?
Yes, I do have some comments. I do not support this application. The reasons are, the first one, Mr. Bissonnette already listed. I think the opportunity to have a more lightweight kind of residential elevator or so-called lift within the building There are many options out there now. The reason why I think that is excessive construction for the purpose, first of all, he said that it's not for barrier-free. You still have to make the few steps to the ground floor, and it's only serving the ground floor and up, I guess. And they do have a rental unit in the basement, and that is not that will not benefit from this white addition. And also, I do not think this kind of construction is desirable in the neighborhood, because what it is that they share, it is semi-detached. They share a very tight lot, and I think that if you push everything in the front like that, and then it is just it's not even in this neighborhood. In many neighborhoods, it's not that desirable. And I think that some neighbors come out and speak very clearly for that, on that. And then I do agree, especially with the second speaker, that his concerns. And that these are the main reasons. This is a hydraulic elevator, first of all, and it's serving only second and then maybe the first floor. And not even serving the rental unit. I find this is maybe a little bit too much work for not enough benefits. Yeah, so I will not support this either. Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Chan. For my part, I see the necessity for an elevator in many of our homes in the city. So I'm not averse to the idea of having an elevator in the structure. I also come back to the fact that the ask is for 2 variances, and from the experiences we've had at Committee of Adjustment, neither of those variances are excessive. So on the basis of the variances being requested, I don't have a concern with either of them. What I do have a concern with is, I think, the impact on the immediate neighbor. None of the other neighbors who, talking about the streetscape being changed and so on and so forth. The whole idea of life is that there's the one constant is change. So I don't have, I'm not responding to the various comments that have been made about how the street would look, the streetscape and so on. What I do have a concern about is that the immediate neighbor, I believe it's, I'm trying to get the address, it's Miss Bloomstock, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the immediate neighbor to the west, I think, the one with the house with the turret. As far as the historical aspect is concerned, Heritage has not commented at all. So there's no historical concern from Heritage as far as the turret is concerned. But given the fact that there is a turret and it does have visibility, circular visibility, I do find that the elevator protrusion would certainly have an impact. So I'm now looking at the impact on the immediate neighbor, not their neighbors, 5 doors down or 10 doors down, but the immediate neighbor. And I think that's where my concern is. The other aspect is that when I look at the floor plans for the elevator, I asked about the possibility of the elevator being at the rear of the house or somewhere in the midpoint, and I think Mr. Romano has given me a good explanation as to why that wouldn't work. However, when I look at the floor plans just on the inside of the house where the proposed elevator is supposed to be, I can see that you could put in an elevator in that space. Yes, you'd lose some floor space on the first floor, second floor, and presumably the third floor. But if you really wanted an elevator, it could be an internal one. Many homes have internal elevators these days. So given all of those comments that I just made, this is an application that I, too, cannot support. So I will ask my colleagues for a motion, and let's see where it goes.
Mr. President, would you like to make a motion?
Ms. Chan?
Oh, I can make a motion if, okay. Yeah, I would like to make a motion to refuse this application.
Ms. Chan proposed a motion to refuse the application. All those in favor?
Oh, no, we have to.
Oh, sorry, we need a seconder. I beg your pardon.
Ryan, are you seconding my motion?
Decline to second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Bissonnette. All those in favor? Mr. Bissonnette?
He's dissent,
Dissenting.
Oh, you're dissenting. I beg your pardon.
so he's not
No,
seconding.
doesn't move anywhere.
No, you can.
Through you,
Can I
Mr.
second?
Chair, yes. So Ms. Chan has made the motion to refuse the application. You can second that motion,
Thank you.
and Mr. Bissonnette will dissent.
Thank you. So the motion, as you've just heard, is to refuse the application, and it's a 2-to-1 proposal. This application is refused. Thank you, everybody.
We need to, we don't have to vote again, right? We vote to the vote. Okay, thank you.
All right, moving on to item number
Through you, Mr. Chair, we're just going to wait for Mr. Reid to come back in.
Oh, that's right, sorry. Welcome back, Dylan.
All done?
Yes. All right. Moving on to application number 3. This is an application to alter the existing one-story detached building by constructing a rear one-story addition and a complete second-story addition for the use of an industrial warehouse. The committee had before it the following communications: a copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, 7 photographs pardon me, of the subject property received January 14, 2025, covering letter from Mr. James Comley, agent, received on March the 24th, 2025, email correspondence from the agent received April 4th, 2025, presentation materials received from the agent May 20th, 2025, and revised plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations received May 22nd, 2025.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we do have the agent here in person, no registered speakers for this item.
Good morning, Mr. Comley. Thank you for being here. Could we get your name and address, please?
Yes, good morning. James Comley. I'm at 2600 Skymark Ave, Building 8, Unit 101 in Mississauga, and I'm representing Dream Development Group Corporation, the owners of the building.
Thank you. Let me just see if my colleagues would like a presentation or not, because it's a fairly straightforward, from my perspective, a fairly straightforward application.
That's fine.
Any requests? Mr. Bissonnette?
No.
No?
No, thank you.
Thank you. A quick question, though. Mr. Reid has a question for you.
Okay.
Just to clarify, so is the idea that the first floor will be a warehouse or something, and the second floor will be some offices? It wasn't clear from the different.
At the moment, they want to increase the size of the building. It's for the Group E employment zone, which could be whatever a tenant wants that fits within the employment zone requirements. So they could have storage up there, they could have office up there.
Okay. It just wasn't clear from the various different documents what was being proposed, so. Okay.
Thank you.
Through you, Mr. Chair, the revised plans that were submitted, does that change any, well, there's only one variance. Does that make any changes to the variance, or?
No, it's just the only variance we were after was the rear setback. We were trying to move it out and align it with the building next door at this building around the corner. With the address. On the drawing that's on the screen, the building at the top of the drawing, their side yard, we want to match that.
The question is just revised plans were submitted. I just want to make
the
sure
revised-
what the revised plans.
Revised plans, I had a request to take what's left of the rear setback and make it green space. So we showed that on the drawings. We were asked to send the drawings back to show the green space, which is hatched. The last, was on the last slide. On the right-hand side, that's green space at the rear of the building. And that was a request that was made of us.
Okay.
So through you, Mr. Chair, then you
Based
may
on the-
want to consider imposing a condition.
Tied to the revised site plan.
Well, it would be, SP 1.2,
Okay.
and that would be, we received it on May the 21st, 2025.
So this would be subject to revised plans, specifically SP 1.2.
Through you, Mr. Chair, that's correct.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this is a fairly straightforward application. There's no amendment to the requested variance nor to the purpose. Mr. Reid?
I'm happy to make a motion.
Thank you, Mr.
It's pretty straightforward. It's an industrial zone where I don't think the rear yard setback will make a significant difference, and as the applicant pointed out, it aligns it with the neighboring building. So I think this is entirely, and also it's certainly within the desirability, something that the city desires to intensify and provide more space in this kind of area. So I don't think there's any significant impacts. So I move that we approve this motion with the condition that it be tied to the revised site plans.
And I will second that, yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Chan. So we have a motion. Mr. Bissonnette's already up there. Thank you. All those in favor? Great. Thank you. You have your approval, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and now moving on to item number 4. Item number 4 is 219 Queen Street West and 221 Queen Street West - Unit 2, Level 1. This purpose of this application is to alter the existing 25-story mixed-use building approved under site-specific zoning bylaw 1078-2014, Ontario Municipal Board, by permitting a restaurant use, Starbucks, on the ground floor with one retail store. The committee had before it the following communication, pardon me, copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, covering letter from Arch-Tech or Arc-Tech Design Group Incorporated, received on March the 17th, 2025. 3 photographs of the subject property received April 3rd, 2025. Decision number A0621/17TEY affecting the subject property, and site-specific zoning bylaw 1078-2014 affecting the subject property. We also have email correspondence from Heritage Planning, received March 27th, 2025. And we have before us...
Through you, Mr. Chair, yes, we do have the agent online, no registered speakers for this item.
Thank you. Mr. Premiani? Oops, sorry. We're having problems hearing you.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we'll mute him. and we'll try calling him.
Thank you. Reminds me of a TV show or a radio show, Gremlins. Yes, thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Is that Mark Premiani?
Yes. Let me lower the volume on my computer. Okay. So good morning, Mr. Chairman, committee members, staff, and neighbors.
Name and address,
Mark
please.
Premiani. Yeah, Mark Premiani at 18 King Street East, Unit E3, Bolton, Ontario. And I'm speaking today on behalf of the applicant, Queen Simcoe Inc., and 221 Queen Developments Inc. as the authorized agent from Architect Design Group Inc.
Thank you very much. I wonder if you could just give us a very brief presentation. One of my colleagues would like to have a perspective on what's being asked.
Okay, thank you for that. We are here to respectfully request a minor variance for the property at 219 Queen Street West, a 25-story mixed-use building approved under site-specific bylaw, zoning bylaw 1078-2014, Ontario Municipal Board. The purpose of this application is to allow a restaurant use, specifically Starbucks, which has been previously approved as a retail unit pickup only on the ground floor, along with one retail store instead of two retail stores with individual pedestrian entrances currently required by the bylaw. The proposed restaurant use is consistent with the existing character and commercial activity in this part of Queen Street West, where a number of restaurants, cafes, and retail shops contribute to the vibrant and pedestrian-friendly streetscape. In this context, we believe the inclusion of a restaurant is not only appropriate, but desirable and supports the ongoing success of this mixed-use building and the surrounding neighborhood. In our opinion, the requested variance satisfies all four tests under Section 45, Sentence 1 of the Planning Act. It is minor in nature. It is desirable for the appropriate development and use of the land. It maintains the general intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw, and it maintains the general intent and purpose of the City of Toronto official plan. We are also mindful that the subject property is heritage listed. The proposed changes relate strictly to ground floor use and will not alter the building's approved massing or heritage character in any way. We have reviewed the application policies, consulted with staff, and we are available to provide further clarification or respond to any questions the committee may have. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you very much. Mr. Reid just got a question for you.
Sorry, is there a Starbucks there at the moment, but it's not as large?
No, it's we were. This site-specific bylaw is a really unique one where the units on the ground floor, however many they were going to have initially, did stipulate that 2 of the units must be retail, and any additional ones could meet any of the other approved uses within the bylaw. Unfortunately, this building only has 2 units down there, and one of which is retail, and ours, what we got approved for in our permit process was a Starbucks Group E retail unit pickup only. That's what got us into the retail classification and allowed us to build the Starbucks. So it is currently operational as a retail unit pickup only.
Is there going to be another retail unit as well in this building, or is there now only going to be one retail unit? Is there going to be a retail unit in addition to the Starbucks, I guess is what I'm asking.
No, there's only 2 units available for lease on that ground floor, and currently one is a retail, and currently Starbucks is also retail, but we would like to have that changed to a restaurant.
Clarify, is Starbucks going to be taking up both of these the existing retail spaces, or is there still a separate retail space as well as the Starbucks?
Oh, sorry about that. Yes, there is another separate retail unit on there.
Okay,
as well,
that's what I
Starbucks.
was concerned about. So there is still a separate retail unit in addition to the Starbucks.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Perhaps we can take it into committee and discussion and.
Yeah, my concern had been that it was going, like, obviously the intention is that there should be 2 retail units because the city is trying to encourage some space for, independent or smaller retail units as well as chain stores. So I was concerned that it was taking up all the space, but that's not the case. So in that case, I think it's not a problem to have a Starbucks there.
Any other comments or questions?
No. You read the variances that they require minimum 2, but they cannot meet the minimum. They only have one.
Yeah, I know. So I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't that it was taking over all the space, but rather that it was just no longer counting as retail.
Yeah.
So,
Reid, would you like to turn that into motion?
Sure. Having been reassured of that there is still a separate unit in that building, I don't see any problem with having a Starbucks, a restaurant there. It will provide, vibrancy and perform the same needs as a retail store. So I move that we approve this variance.
Thank you.
As a person who absolutely loves coffee, I'm happy to second this motion.
Thank you, Mr. Bissonnette. So we've got a motion on the floor. Mr. Reid moves to approve. Mr. Bissonnette seconds. All those in favor? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Premiani. You have your approval. Okay. Now moving on to item number 5. Item number 5 is 160 Langley Avenue. Purpose of the application is to alter the existing 2 1/2 story semi-detached dwelling by constructing a rear 3rd story addition and to reconstruct the existing front porch and rear ground floor deck. Also to construct a 1-story ancillary building, a detached garage, in the rear yard abutting the laneway. The committee had before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, 2 photographs of trees on the subject property received March 24th, 2025, pardon me, covering letter from the agent received March 21st, 2025, presentation materials received from the agent May 21st, 2025. We also have advisory staff reports from Metrolinx. And we have support letters. There are 9 form letters in support from owners and occupants of 164, 166, 172, 188, 190, 192 Langley Avenue, 240 Church Street, 156 Langley Avenue, and 183 Riverdale, received May 21st, 2025.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we have the agent online, no registered speakers for this item.
Thank you. Mr. Hatch, are you there?
Good morning. Jonathan Hatch, 6 Bishop Street from Ontario, 5R1 and 2.
Good morning, welcome. Let me just see if my colleagues require a presentation from you. If not, perhaps some questions. Any need for a presentation? No. Mr. Bissonnette?
No.
No?
No.
Anybody have any questions to ask? None? Okay. Looks like you've got a very good day today. Mr. Hatch, we don't need a presentation. It looks like a fairly straightforward application. And despite the fact that you've got 5 variances before us, I don't believe any of them are problematic at all. So I'll perhaps take it into committee at this point and look for a motion or some discussion at least.
I can put forward a motion to approve the 5 variances, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Bissonnette. Do we have a seconder? Ms. Chan, thank you. All those in favor? Thank you. Mr. Hatch, you have your approval. Okay. Moving on to item number 6. Item number 6 is 84 Hubbard Boulevard, the purpose of the application is to alter the existing 2 1/2 story semi-detached dwelling by constructing an extension to the front covered porch with stairs. Also to construct a new 1-story ancillary building, shed with a green roof in the rear yard of the property. The committee had before it the following communications: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations. Covering letter from Mr. Hudson, the agent, received April 22nd, 2025. Presentation materials from the agent, received from the agent on May 16th, 2025. Tree inventory plan and 18 photographs of trees received on March 27th. We also have staff reports from Urban Forestry received May 22nd, 2025. And we also have 3 form letters in support signed by owners and occupants of 78, 82 Hubbard Boulevard and 21 Selwood Avenue received May 16th, 2025.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we have the agent online, no registered speakers for this item.
Thank you. Okay. Who do we have? Mr. Hudson?
Good morning, committee. My name is Will Hudson of Hudson Architecture. I'm the agent and architect.
Could we have your address, please?
530 Queen Street East.
Thank
Toronto.
you. Thank you. Let me just see if my colleagues require a presentation or they may have some questions of you. Question from Mr. Reid?
Yeah, I have a question, Chair.
Go ahead, Mr. Bissonnette.
Thank you. I have concerns about lack of soft landscaping. And my question is if there is a middle ground or a way to increase soft landscaping or including some permeable materials.
Yeah, thanks for the question. And it was a struggle right from the beginning. We've made efforts as much as possible to increase soft landscaping component. Right, existing condition, as you can see from the presentation material, is 0. They have no soft landscaping. So as part of the proposal in the rear, in the parking area for the car, we would like to, and it's on the architectural plans, we'd like to have some permeable paving. It's actually, I think, a couple of drawings in showing specifically the rear. If you keep going, that's the front there. So the area that's sort of surrounded by the sheds, we'd like that whole area to be permeable paving. There are issues existing with how to get runoff from rainfall on the lot. So we're hoping, I don't know if we'll get a lot of green growing through the permeable paving. That's our ideal scenario, just because of the aspect of the property. But that's an attempt to try to increase from 0 to something on the lot. And also the owners would like to have green roofing on the larger of the sheds. The front is, because if we perhaps move to the plan of the front, They don't have a lot of private property at the front. The green area and the planters are really existing on the city boulevard area, and we're not changing that. We're not increasing the hard landscape area. We've tried to introduce a little planter beside the stairs up to that deck. So efforts have been made. I think they're reasonable efforts that, given the situation, that I think are shown and illustrated in the photographs of the site as it exists.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Reid?
Just a couple questions. First, can you just talk a little bit about the porch extension? I think that's the one thing that sort of stands out. I think from your drawings, you're actually not expanding the porch by very much, but can you just address that a little bit?
If staff doesn't mind just going to that front, or zooming in, you can see the existing deck has a sort of angular projection beyond the two front posts out towards the lake, which is south or to the right of this drawing. And they're just not finding they can use that deck very well at all. So what we've kind of landed on is if we could increase the deck by 1 foot south or towards the lake or towards Hubbard Boulevard, and replace the existing big brick support piers for the deck above, they can actually use this thing. They can kind of put furniture out there and be out there and occupy it. I mean, you can sit out there right now, but it's not great. It's not very functional. So that's the proposition or proposal, is to go a foot further towards the lake and square it off.
Okay, thank you. And then I guess the second question is, very much appreciate the attempts to add some permeable materials through the green roof and the permeable pavers at the back. I think that's great. Would you be okay if we include a condition to tie at site plans just to kind of lock the green roof and the permeable pavers in?
Yeah, no problem, absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any other questions?
I think the site plan does not show that is the whole partial site plan, show the green roof. Yeah. The whole site plan, it does not indicate where the green roofs are, but then they're separate partial plans, they do. So we have to tie them, if the approval tied to all
The plans?
all the plans, yeah.
All the plans,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. Okay.
If I may, I just need, I do have a question with regard to the permeable pavers. Sorry, bear with me. I'm just going to go to, it's drawing A 1.1. So on the drawing, is it just the area that is going to be a parking pad that is going to be permeable, or the entire area with this, I'm not sure how one describes the graphics on the drawing?
Yeah, it's the entire area up to the right of way. So the parking spot is included in that, but we're not in love with the asphalt that's there right now. So we want to change it, and we would like to have some kind of permeable paving material for the balance of the area at the back, outside of the sheds, but we can't go beyond the right of way, or don't feel comfortable with doing that. We're obviously, that laneway is shared with the neighbor to the east, so it stops at that line. So that kind of broken line, it's a little bit difficult to tell, but that broken line where the hatching stops for the permeable paving is where we'd like to take it to, plus or minus the edge of the house.
Right. So just for purposes of the application and approval, how would I describe the graphic on that page that would identify exactly the area to be covered by permeable paving? Because when I look at the drawing, right in the middle of where the vehicle is shown, there's an arrow to the right and an arrow to the left. And it makes it a little difficult to see, is that pointing just to the area that the car will be parked on, or right across the entire space?
We can state that the paved area between the proposed shed and the main building, the back wall, the rear wall of the main building, the paved area is all permeable. That's what it is proposed.
Okay.
All permeable paver.
And that's in the plan.
Yeah, that's in the plan too.
Okay.
But
I think that's pretty good.
That's clear. Oh, okay, great. Thank you. Okay, we'll take it into committee and look for a motion.
yeah, I'd like to make a motion, but also like to make a comment that I think the applicant make a lot of effort to actually mitigate the existing conditions in terms of landscaping and you know. So I'd like to make a motion to tie to all the plans and also a condition that in the rear yard, the area between the shed and the main wall going to be permeable pavers or permeable materials. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Chan. Mr. Reid, seconds.
And that's a forestry condition 1. Sorry, missed that. Yeah.
Forestry condition number 1 is in. Okay, thank you. So we have a motion by Ms. Chan to approve the application with the conditions that the application be tied to all the plans and that the area between the home and the shed be produced out of permeable materials, and there's forestry number 1. I think we've got, that's the lot. Okay. And Mr. Reid second the motion. All those in favor? Thank you. We have your approval. Okay. Moving on to item number 7. Number 7 is 272 GLEDHILL Avenue. Purpose of the application is to alter the existing 2-story detached dwelling by constructing a front ground floor deck and a rear 2-story addition with deck. To construct a new 1-story ancillary building, detached garage in the rear yard with driveway abutting Barker Avenue. We have before us, committee has before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans and elevations, 3 photographs of trees on the subject property received April 4th, 2025, a cover letter from Mr. Galbraith, the agent, received May 21st, 2025, an arborist report received on April 22nd, 2025, tree protection plan prepared and received on April 22nd, 2025. We also have agency reports from Urban Forestry. There's one, the first one received May 22nd, 2025, and there's a second one, staff report, and this one is a denial memo received on May 22nd, 2025. We also have 2 form letters in opposition signed by owners and occupants of 237 Holborn Avenue, both received May 7th, 2025.
For you, Mr. Chair, we do have the agent online. We have 1 registered speaker here in person in interest.
Thank you. Let me just say, bear with me. Mr. Galbraith, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am. Can you hear me?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Galbraith, we do have 1 person in opposition, so we will require a presentation, please.
I'd be happy to. If you could bring up my cover letter on the screen. There we go. Let's start with the color drawings on the next. There we go. That's perfect there. So essentially what is proposed is to sort of square off the rear of the existing house with a 2-story rear addition and construct a new 2-car garage in the rear yard. There's an existing 1-car garage, which you could see on the photograph above this image. And then also remove the existing enclosed front porch extension and just replace it with an open front porch. This triggers 6 variances. A number of the variances are related to side yard setbacks for things like the porches or canopies above the porch, primarily on the north side towards the street, the flanking street, which do not create any notable impacts. Importantly, there are no soft landscaping variances. The bylaw provisions are being maintained. With regards to the new garage, unfortunately, the owners had a break-in attempt to try and steal one of their cars. That was frankly quite traumatic, and so they really would like to have a new 2-car garage constructed at the rear. The 2 variances are triggered by the garage. One is the setback, the side yard setback. The bylaw has an extremely large 6-meter side yard setback from the street side, not from the interior side. This can't actually be met by, almost any garage on any flanking street in older parts of Toronto, simply because the lots are too narrow. And then the other is the area of the garage. Sorry, not the area. The area of the garage complies. The lot coverage of the garage. It's a function of the smaller lot. The actual square footage of the garage, 40 square meters, complies with the bylaw. So the garage doesn't have much in the way of extra storage space other than needed for 2 cars. So it's not an overly large structure. And again, it doesn't trigger any soft landscaping variances. With regards to urban forestry, our arborist, as I understand, has already started speaking with urban forestry, and we've made the required submissions. But urban forestry won't entertain working on a solution until the variances are dealt with. We're confident that that the standard urban forestry condition of obtaining a tree permit is sufficient to protect that tree. There is no intention at all to have that tree removed whatsoever. We've already spoken with engineers about the foundation for the garage. As I understand, the tree roots for this tree are deeper than 10 inches. And a slab-on-grade foundation for the garage would only need to be 10 inches deep. And if that doesn't work for urban forestry, we're happy to do helical piles and hand dig around the roots to make sure that that tree continues to have a long and healthy life. I think that's the gist of it. I'm happy to answer any questions that the neighbor has or that committee has, but I think typically this is a fairly straightforward application.
Thank you very much, Mr. Galbraith. Let me just see if my colleagues have any questions at this point. Mr. Reid?
Yeah, I mean, I understand that you feel like there could be a solution to the tree issue, but we might be more comfortable if you deferred and then came back with having made a resolution with forestry rather than us just sort of leaving it open.
The challenge is that we actually can't do that. Urban forestry, that has been the discussions with urban forestry so far, but they won't work with us until there's an actual approved application. That sort of forces them to work with us, frankly. The comments back to us have been that they won't entertain the discussions until there's an actual project that they have to, work through. So in other words, if we did defer it for that reason, we wouldn't be able to come back.
Right. Okay.
We wouldn't be able to clear the condition to come back for that because of that deferral.
Right.
We understand the risk if urban forestry ultimately doesn't like the solution that we would propose. They can simply refuse the tree permit, and that would sort of be the end of that.
Right.
Can I add to that? Yeah, the comment is that the advisory comment from Urban Forestry is that we were going to approve it despite of condition 5, they will impose condition 2 anyway. They will have to go back and discuss how to protect that tree and all that. So,
Which we think is a reasonable position.
yeah, so I'm fine with that condition, yeah.
Thank you very much. Mr. Bissonnette, any questions?
No questions,
Okay.
Chair.
Thank you. We do have one person in interest in the audience. Thank you. Welcome.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You've waited a long time.
Oh, yeah, I know. My name is Reg Hyde. I live at 199 Barker Avenue, which is on the Barker side, right beside the property. The garage that's proposed is proposed to be built 2 feet away from our side of the house. That side of our house, we have our furnace and heater venting, as well as all of our water drainage for our eaves troughs and stuff. I have no problem with the plan and everything, but I spoke to the owner and I asked if it was possible to get maybe 1 more foot away from our house, so that the garage is actually built just 1 foot over. So that would give us 3 feet. So that would give me access to clear any snow or weeds or anything that might block our vents. At the time, the owner said that he didn't have a problem with that and that he would speak with the architects. But I haven't had a chance to speak to the owner since then. So I don't know if that was actually, if the plans were changed to allow that 3 feet for us. I just know at the time the owner said he didn't have a problem with it. So I'm just wondering if the plans were in fact changed to give us that 3 feet or not.
Thank you. Let me just see if my colleagues have any questions.
Sure.
If not, we'll wait for the agent to give feedback. Any questions, Mr. Bissonnette? No questions? Thank you. Okay, thank you very kindly. We'll have Mr. Galbraith give you a response.
Okay.
Thank you very much. We don't have any issues providing a little extra space from what is our rear yard and the neighbor's side yard. I don't believe it triggers any extra variances, and so long as an approval isn't tied to plans, then we would be happy to continue to work with the neighbor to have a solution that works for everyone.
Okay. You are sure, right? Because if you move 1 foot, will reduce the soft landscaping or whatever, right?
No, because apologies, I started to interrupt. We wouldn't be making the garage bigger. We would just add more soft landscaping sort of behind it on the neighbor's side.
All right. Yeah, all right.
So I don't think it would change any of the percentages or trigger any new variances.
All right.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, is there some way to tie this so that the neighbor can be assured that that's what will happen? I'm just wondering if there's any way to assure him that, the 3 feet or 2 feet, whatever the distance was he mentioned, would actually be something that would happen.
There's no variance to tie it to because we comply with the rear yard. It's been a very friendly, neighborly discussion, as I understand, and so other than, I'm not sure how to tie it because we don't have a plan to tie it to, other than to say that we are, like I said, the owners has been very open to it, and we would be happy to do it.
Thank you. Let me just
maybe we can just add a note, not an official thing, but add a note at the bottom saying we encourage them to work with the neighbor.
Through you, Mr. Chair, that would be for the record in the minutes. That would not show up in the decision.
It'd be for the record in the minutes, exactly.
Yes.
If it's a condition, I think we have to describe it in such a way is that the rear yard of the proposed garage setback will be increased by 300 millimeter.
I think we just added for the record.
Yeah, if we do not, if we want to impose as condition, we have to be more precise, that's what I'm saying. Otherwise, it's just a comment in a minute. What do you suggest? Is there a
Can that be
condition?
put in as a condition?
Through you, Mr. Chair, it could be put in as a condition, or it could be as part of a condition for the decision and the minutes, or it could just be for the record in the minutes.
Which,
So you could, sorry to interrupt, perhaps we could have if the committee wished to impose a condition, we could have a rear yard setback for the garage of 0.6 meters.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay, that sounds good. That's what I'm trying to get at. If we're going to impose, we have to be more careful with the, okay. 0.46 meter, right. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Galbraith, for that. That I think it will reassure your neighbor. Thank you.
Happy to do so.
Thank you.
It's actually more than
0.6 meters. Oh.
And I think because there are variances for the garage, they can be tied.
Sorry, Mr. Galbraith mentioned 0.6 meters.
0.6, yeah.
Yeah, but 0.6 is 2 feet.
No, they have 1 foot, that's why they say the total. The
Total of 3.
Yeah, the total is,
Okay, good.
Yeah, the existing is 0.3, and so 0.6 would provide that extra foot.
Okay, great. Thank you. Sorry, I wasn't clear.
Good.
Okay, we have 2.
So we'll take it into committee now and look for a motion that includes that condition.
Yeah. You want to? Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve with the urban forestry conditions and advisory comment regarding the tree. And then the second condition is to have the garage rear yard setback to 0.6 meter.
So that's forestry 2, right?
There's forestry 2 and 5.
Through you, Mr. Chair.
No.
5 is just because of the report.
Oh, yeah, if we approve your...
Right. So it would be just condition number 2.
Yes, so thank you for the correction. Yeah, that's my motion. Then, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a second now? Mr. Heath, thank you. All those in favor? Thank you. Mr. Galbraith, you have your approval. Thank you. And now moving on to item number 8. Item number 8 is 874 to 878 Young Street, 3-11 SCOLLARD Street. Purpose of the application is to alter the development standards for the 50-story residential building approved under site-specific zoning bylaw 697-2021 OLT by increasing the permitted gross floor area and the permitted encroachment of cladding and other similar facade treatments into the required minimum building setbacks. The committee had before it the following communications: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans and elevations. Revised diagram 3A and 3B received April 15th, 2025. 5 photographs of subject property received April the 4th, 2025. Cover letter from the planning consultant received April 15th, 2025. Decision number A0612/23TEY affecting the subject property. Project data sheet received April 8th, 2025. Site-specific zoning bylaw 697-2021 OLT affecting the subject property. We also had staff report from community planning received May 22nd, 2025.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we do have the agent here in person as well as 1 registered speaker in interest online.
Thank you. Carla Tamayo.
Morning.
Oh, there you are. Good morning and welcome.
So my name is Carla Tamayo. I'm a planner at Bousfield, located at 3 Church Street, and I'm here on behalf of the applicant and owner.
Terrific, thank you. Since we do have one person in interest, if you could give us a presentation, please.
Yes, sure. I'll just walk you through the variances. So it's just 2 variances, one to permit an increase in the maximum gross floor area, just resulting from revisions that my client has undertaken through the detailed design process or the SPA process. And then as well, minor horizontal projection into the required building setback at the southwest corner of the building for architectural frame. So when we originally received the site-specific approval, they had permitted encroachments, and we can pull it up here as well. And they noted architectural or ornamental features. Permitted encroachment is 0.5 meters into the required building setback. We thought we fell into that, but in speaking with the zoning examiner, they said that our architectural cladding did not fall into that category. So we're just asking for a 0.2 meter encroachment for cladding and other similar architectural features.
That's it? That was good and brief.
What is the cladding? It's just something that's sticking out? Or?
Yeah, it's a bit of an architectural frame projecting off of the main wall. If you pull up, I guess...
The whole wall that is sticking out?
Not the whole wall, no, just a little bit of the...
A little bit, okay.
Just a little bit of framing and cladding it.
All right. All right, no, just curious, because I can't see it myself, that's all. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions?
No.
No? Okay, let's move on to, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let me just see if our person in interest, Mr. Ho, is, should be online. Mr. Ho, are you there? David Ho, are you there?
Through you, Mr. Chair, he is offline, so he has left.
Okay. He wasn't that interested by the sounds of it. Well, thank you. Well, we can take it into committee and have a quick chat if necessary. If not, I'll look for a motion.
Anyone want to? I can make motion. This is like, I think that it's not that significant, that little bit of sticking out, and in a large scale development like that, I don't think it will increase any more impact. So I make a motion to approve. There is no conditions, right?
Sorry, through you, Mr. Chair.
There is one condition.
Yes.
Planning.
Community planning.
Community planning have one condition to tie to the drawings they listed. Yeah.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder for this motion? Thank you, Mr. Bissonnette. All those in favor?
With condition, yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, you have your approval. Thank you.
Shall we have a very short
A break? Absolutely.
Yeah.
10 minutes?
Yeah, okay.
Can we come back at
Thank
10
you.
to 12?
Yeah.
Ryan on? There he is, okay.
Okay. And we're back. Thank you. We now have item number 73. Sorry, beg your pardon. Item number 9, 73 LAWLOR Avenue. The purpose of this application is to alter the existing one-story detached dwelling by constructing a complete second-story addition and a rear ground floor covered porch with stairs. The committee had before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, and 3 photographs of the subject property and rear yard tree received April the 4th, 2025, and April 14th, 2025, respectively. Do we have the agent online?
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair. We do have the agent online. No registered speakers for this item.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Good morning. Name and address, please.
Yes, my name is Michael Shazatbar, and I'm the agent on behalf of the homeowners at 73 LAWLOR Avenue.
Thank
My
you.
address is 31 Fairwinds Lane, Holland Landing.
Terrific. Thank you so very much. You've got a very straightforward application with a single variance request. Let me just see if my colleagues have any need for presentation or questions. If not, we'll take it into committee for a decision. Mr. Bissett?
No, thank you on presentation. No, thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Let's take it into committee, and I'll look for a motion on this particular one. Mr. Reid, thank you.
Yeah, I'm happy to make a motion. It's the variance is minor. It's definitely desirable to have create a more living space for in a small house. So I move that we approve this variance.
Thank you.
Second.
Ms. Chan, thank you, Ms. Chan, seconded. All those in favor? Thank you very much. You have your approval, sir. And moving on to item 10. And item 10 is 128 Chisholm Avenue. Committee had before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations. I beg your pardon, I didn't read the purpose into for record. Let me just backtrack a bit. So the purpose of the application is to alter the existing one-story detached dwelling by constructing a complete second-story addition and a rear two-story addition. The ground level will contain 1 parking space fronting Doncaster Avenue, and the existing detached garage will be demolished. The committee had before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, 2 photographs of the subject property received April 7th, 2025, and we have staff report from Urban Forestry received May 22nd, 2025. We also had correspondence in concern from 58 Doncaster Avenue received May 23rd, 2025, and materials in concern similarly from 58th Doncaster Avenue received May 23rd, 2025.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we do have the agent online. We do have 1 registered speaker here in person in interest, and I believe another one online as well.
Thank you. Helen He, are you there?
Yes, my name is Helen He. My address is 160 East River Creek Road, Unit 24, representing the owner of 128 CHISHOLM Avenue.
Thank you very much. We'll need a presentation since we have somebody in concern.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the purpose of the development is combining the 2 small buildings together with the one building with two-story, the second-story addition. There is a Originally, there are two small buildings, one main house, 1 story, and one detached garage. By combining the two buildings together, they will be more efficient and give you more space for the standard family. And we have a quite a bit side backyard setback, 8.2 meters. And together with, there's another 2 meters from the neighbor. I think there's together we have 10 meters setback, 10 meter distance between the two houses at the back of the yard. So the length of the building is actually the minimum length of the building because the garage requirement. We already keep the minimum requirement for the garage, so that's why we are a little bit over for the length of the building. And other is the small sense like the overhanging of the eaves. There's only we proposed 0.2 meter overhanging of the eaves in order to drain properly for the roof water. So that's it.
Thank you very much. Let me just see if my colleagues have any questions of you at this point. If not, we'll go to the person in interest. Any questions, folks? No?
No questions.
Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to, is it Erwin Serbu?
Through you, Mr. Chair, we'll deal with the individual that's here in person first, and then we'll move to our online.
Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon. You're right.
How you doing?
12, so I'm not sure it's morning or afternoon, but whichever.
Almost there.
Name and address, please.
My name's Frank Garcia. I live at 130 Chisholm Avenue, right next door.
Thank you.
My concern is, you know, we've lived there for about 57 years now, and now they decided to make a 2-story and tear down the garage and make another 2-story in the back. And it's on a one-way street going east. Now, there's gonna be a lot of traffic there, and there's a whole bunch of pine trees on that property, as you can see in the picture here. Like, are they gonna have permits to tear down those trees? Because those trees are in mint condition. Give me a lot of traffic, and then I don't know how they're gonna build their 2-story if they're gonna, I'm not gonna allow them on my walkway. So I have a walkway between the two homes. And I don't know. You know, I'm not too pleased about it. My wife's not too pleased about it. I don't know what else to say. And then, and the 2-story they're going to build there, it's going to block my windows from getting any sunlight at all. Which, you know, yeah. See, this is what they're building. Yeah, it's kind of big.
I'm just wondering, it sounds like you've run out of anything additional or...
I don't have very much more to say, you know, it's just, I don't want to see it get done, that's all, you know.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably won't win, but... I'm just a concerned neighbor. I don't know how they're going to... Like, I don't know how they're going to put their scaffolding on my property to build a 2nd story. You know what I mean? Because I won't allow it. You know.
We'll let the agent respond to any concerns that you've expressed.
Okay.
Because ultimately, that's the person who needs to address the concerns.
Because the owner of this property, he's doing room and board now. He's renting rooms out to people out there so he can make some money before he gets his permits to do what he has to do. You know, that doesn't bother me at all. But it's just he's let he's let everything grow long. The grass is almost a foot high. He's not taking care of his property at all, you know? I don't know. It's just, I don't know how he's going to build this 2-story without put scaffolding on my walkway. That's about it.
Anything in addition that you'd like to add? That you can
No, I guess that's it.
That's it? Okay. Well, thank you very much. We'll have the agent give you some response.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do we have somebody else?
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair. We'll hear from the owner at 58 Doncaster Avenue.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi, good afternoon. Name and address, please.
My name is Erwin Serbu, and I'm the owner of 58 Doncaster Avenue, the property directly behind 128 Chisholm Avenue. We share the south sidewalk as well as their west fence. So listen, ultimately, while we do support the development, we do agree with the value that it would add to the neighborhood. We do just have a few concerns. We have spoken directly with the builder and do appreciate the responsiveness and willingness to address these concerns. Our primary issues are related to privacy, which arise specifically due to the variance requested for the increased length of the home. Now, we do understand that the minimum length for the garage is the requirement for this increased length, so we are okay with that. Now, this extension does bring their 2 west-facing windows at the very top, closer to our rear yard, and our 2 east-facing windows, which will reduce privacy between the properties. Now, after discussing this with the builder, they propose to add French balconies with raised curbs and decorative railings to those windows. They've also provided some pictures, which I did not get in time to submit to the committee. They've clarified these will be the only decorative elements, cantilevered by 8 inches and not accessible from inside the home, which helps reduce direct sight lines. Now, we do realize that this extension will reduce soft landscaping. So, and also for the purpose of privacy, we've suggested that the builder consider adding green screening such as trees or tall hedges in the northwest corner of their property. This will also help with the privacy between the neighboring property, which you just heard the other owner speak of. This would further enhance privacy for us by limiting sight lines from their west-facing windows into our rear yard, and also contribute positively to the soft landscaping requirements. Lastly, the removal of the existing garage. As you can see in some of the pictures that I submitted, it currently acts as a privacy barrier between our properties. I think it's the next picture, the next one, one more. Sorry, that one. So now we have spoken to the builder and they confirmed that they will match and extend our shared fence approximately 9.5 feet. So the entire length of the garage all the way up to the house line to replace the entire garage wall. This will help maintain the privacy we currently enjoy, and we are satisfied with this approach. To sum up, we do support the variances as long as these privacy measures like the French balconies, the green screening, and full fence extension can be included. We just kindly request that these revised plans reflecting these items be submitted to ensure clarity and follow through. Thank you very much for your time and consideration.
Thank you kindly. Are there any other speakers? Well, that's it. That's it for this one. Can we go back to Mr. He? Ms. He, are you there?
Our neighbor adjacent to the backyard. Yeah, we have a communication before the meeting. So we agreed to put the tall green landscaping at the back northwest side, and also extend private fence, and put French balcony with curb and with glass screen. So we can either we can submit a revised plan, or either we can add the condition in the decision. And regarding the north neighbor, we have a plan for the construction, which is not not will occupy any walkway and pathway to the neighborhood. We're gonna construct inside the property to raise up the second floor.
Thank you. Let me just see if, before I ask my colleagues for any questions, let me just ask you, your proposed new driveway in the rear, because you've got a deficiency of 10% in the rear yard soft landscaping. Your new driveway that's proposed, you've indicated on the site plan that it's going to be asphalt. Would you be okay with that a condition that would indicate that that would be produced out of permeable materials?
Yes, we can. We can add some area for permeable material.
Well, it's the whole driveway I'm talking about.
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. Let me just see if my colleagues have any questions for you or any comments. Any questions at this point? Mr. Bissonnette? Oh, Mr. Reid?
Mr. Bissonnette, sorry.
Mr. Bissonnette, do you have a question?
No questions.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Reid?
Yeah, so just to clarify, at the moment, so you have a one-car garage, right? And you're proposing to build a two-car garage, and that's why the driveway is indirect as opposed to coming straight off the street. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, folks? No? Thank you, Ms. He. Let me just see if we'll take it into committee and look for a decision. Okay. So, colleagues, anybody have any thoughts?
I can start. Yeah, I do have a problem with the rear yard soft landscaping because when I look at the condition, the existing condition, they actually at 64, so they have no problem with that. And also the corner lot, the advantage is that at the currently you just go straight up to the garage, and it's a very clear, that's why you have a corner lot. You can do something like that, and it seems that this proposal is eliminate that advantage and almost turning it into just like a curved driveway, and then now that create the deficiency of soil landscaping at the rear yard, and I'm not really too sure this is like a desirable development for that site. Having the corner lot and sort of ignore it and increase create a deficiency in soft landscaping. And I cannot support that driveway. I don't mind the addition. I think that is not too deep. It's 2 stories, it's quite appropriate. But the driveway, it seems that it is is something that is reverse of what is the improvement of your soft landscaping. You combine the 2 buildings together, as you said, yeah. But okay.
Thank you. Mr. Reid?
I have the same concerns. Essentially, the reason we're doing this is because they're trying to put a 2-car garage instead of a 1-car garage. If they were to build a 1-car garage as an extension, they could have the driveway coming straight from the street. They could reduce the depth variance, which is, is somewhat significant, which is affecting the neighbor. So I think that, and they would still be able to expand the second story above that 1-story garage. It would just be, it could be slightly smaller, and it would take up far less of the rear yard landscaping. So I think that this is overbuilt, and I don't think it's desirable to start doing these kinds of indirect driveways on corner lots where you have, as my colleague said, the opportunity to do a direct one. And a 1-car garage is what they have at the moment. There's no reason why they can't keep a 1-car garage, and that would actually fit very easily and greatly reduce the impact on the neighbor and greatly reduce the variances required. So I agree with my colleague. Can't support it.
Thank you, Mr. Reid. Mr. Bissonnette, any thoughts?
Yeah, I tend to agree with my colleagues. I think it's mostly been said. I do worry about overdevelopment and burdening the neighbors with such a large build and garage. So I don't find this supportable. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bissonnette. For my part, I think the first thing that jumps out always is when you've got a major reduction in soft landscaping. So I think variance number 4 for me is problematic. I don't have a problem with the intent to develop the property into something that's more workable, but I think the idea of having a single car garage makes eminent sense. So I don't find it totally supportable given its current description. So perhaps we'll ask for a motion from somebody.
I'd like to make a motion to refuse the application.
Thank you. Second, Mr. Reid. Sorry, Mr. Reid. All those in favor of refusal? Thank you. Ms. He, your application's been refused.
Thank you. Well, we will make a revision and submit. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. He. Moving on to item number 11. Item number 11 is, sorry.
Used.
Thank you very much. Item number 11, 2 Geneva Avenue. Purpose of the application is to alter the existing 2-story row house dwelling by constructing a partial rear second-story addition with a rear Juliet balcony. The existing rear second-story roof deck will be demolished. The committee had before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, 5 photographs of the subject property received April the 8th, 2025, letters to the neighbors from the owners received May 21st, 2025, tree protection plan received April 28th, 2025. We also have correspondence from Heritage received May 12th, 2025.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we have the agent here in person, no registered speakers for this item.
Thank you. Hi, good afternoon, Ms. Kuhn. Thank you for being here. I think this is a very complicated application.
Extremely complicated.
Extremely complicated.
Anything to do with heritage, Ms. Kuhn will be here. To answer questions.
Let me just see if we have any questions. If not, we'll take it into...
Through you, Mr. Chair, if the agent can just introduce herself.
Yes, Monica Kuhn, architect for the owners. The owner is here. Address is 12 Sackville Place.
Thank you, Ms. Kuhn. Let me just...
One question, just for my own education. So you have a designated, designated property. So usually I understand that the front of the property will be very restricted in terms of alteration.
Yes.
What about the side, this case?
Also, so any facade facing a street is under the jurisdiction of Heritage.
Okay, anything that you can see. All right,
So we had to, they were very specific. They wanted to make sure that what we were adding was in keeping, but designed in such a way that you could distinguish that it was new. So,
okay.
Which is often complicated to do.
I want to understand why they have to distinguish what is new and then still, of course, like maybe work with the heritage character, right?
Well, they want to make sure that people realize, because it's a heritage district, that they want people to realize what was existing or original and what is built new. So they try to make it so that you as a passerby can see that something was added at a later date.
Maybe it's also an advantage, to the community, is that what kind of level change may be acceptable? Is that how wide?
Yes. Oh, yeah. It's materials, it's size, it's what the windows look like and the trim and So we originally, the interesting, if I may, the interesting thing about this house is that the whole back part of the house was renovated and added to in maybe the 70s or early 80s. And so, you know, we are adding to something that is not original anymore. And so we had originally tried to get Heritage to agree to just our continuing that whole facade in line with the same type of window trim and everything else, and they disagreed. So we had to set it back a little bit, and we had to take out some of the fancy trim and whatever, just so that there was enough of a variation between the what's there right now and what was proposed.
Oh, interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I thought I asked a simple question, but actually the answer is complicated. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
I did say it was a complex application.
Yeah.
It's all relative.
Do we have any other questions, Mr. Bissonnette? No?
No, none.
Okay. Perhaps we can take it into committee and look for a motion, please. Mr. Reid? Sorry.
Ryan, please, yeah.
Oh, Mr. Bissonnette, thank you.
Yes, so I'm happy to put forward a motion to approve the variance.
Thank you, Mr. Bissonnette. Do we have a seconder? Mr. Reid, thank you.
There's no condition, no other conditions.
There are no conditions that I can see. All those in favor? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Would you have your approval? Okay. Moving on to item 12, which is 81 Earlsdale Avenue. Purpose of the application to permit one garden suite within the existing rear one-story ancillary building. Committee had before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations. Revised site plan received May 8th, 2025. Revised zoning notice received May 8th, 2025. 3 photographs of the subject property received April 3rd, 2025. And covering letters from the agent received April 11th, 2025, and May 8th, 2025. We also have email correspondence from Transportation Engineering coordinator received May 9th, 2025. We also have correspondence in opposition from 85 Earlsdale Avenue and 83 Earlsdale Avenue.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we do have the agent online. We also have one person in here in opposition.
Thank you.
I think also that there's been a change in one of the variances, the soft landscaping.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I mean, the agent can speak to that, so it's on public record.
Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Smith, are you there?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chair.
Hi, good morning. Name and address, please.
Yeah, it's Jay Smith, 2814 Hollington Crescent, agent for the application.
Thank you. Perhaps before we move any further, my understanding is that there's some changes to the variances?
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
Could you walk us through them?
We did provide an updated zoning notice. We did have significant discussions with community planning before we even applied for a committee. We had a zoning notice at that time. We made a change to the soft landscape area. The existing condition was a driveway and a rear yard deck with 0 landscape area. We have increased that by removing a portion of the deck and removing a portion of the existing driveway to get that to 10% where 25% is required. The community planner had no objection with that at all. He also had no objection to the garden suite that's existing that we're legalizing. Variances number 2 and 3 from the existing zoning notice are no longer required due to changes by the province. And variance number 4, which has become variance number 2, is for the parking. There will be 0 parking other than the bike parking on site. The owners have, would you like me to do a presentation, or do you want to?
Just bear with me. We'll just deal with the changes to make sure we've got it correctly first. So if I heard correctly, variance number 1 goes from 0 5% rear yard soft landscaping to 10%.
Correct.
Variance number 2 and 3.
We need the area.
Oh, sorry, yeah, we do need the area in square meters, please.
The area in square meters, 1.716 required, and we're providing 6.99.
6.99 meters squared. Thank you. And variance number 2 and 3 are deleted.
Correct.
And variance number 4 remains as is.
Correct.
Okay, thank you very much. We do have, I believe, person in opposition, so we will need a presentation, please.
Absolutely, Mr. Chair. The current owners purchased the home approximately 10 years ago. The garden suite was in place at that point. The house is also rented as a separate unit. They have this as an investment property. The garage was maintained as the garden suite, has been rented for quite a number of years. It was rented before they had even purchased it. We are looking to legalize the existing condition. We're looking to redesign the interior. We're looking to make it more rentable and a more pleasant space compared to what it is at the moment. The massing and the exterior dimensions of the building are not changing in any way. We are moving a front door and window in opposite places, so there is no significant change or impact on any of the neighboring dwellings. It will, of course, be brought up to code. There is no excavation needed for sewers or water, considering they're already connected. The neighbor at number 83 has actually signed a limiting distance agreement already. It's in place for access for the unit. I'd be happy to answer any questions the committee might have.
Thank you. Let me just see if there are any questions at this point. If not, we'll go to the person in opposition. Any questions for the agent?
No questions.
Let's move on to the folks in opposition. Good afternoon. Welcome. A name and address, please.
Hello, my name is Erica Bailey, and my address is 83 Earlsdale Avenue.
Thank you. You've got 5 minutes to make your presentation.
Thank you. A point of clarification, I have not signed an LDA. I am here as both the owner and the resident of 83 Earlsdale Avenue, and I appreciate, first off, how important it is to be creative and responsive to the need for additional housing here in Toronto, while also maintaining the material interests and enjoyment and use of our homes. I absolutely am in opposition to the bicycle and bin storage location, which is on the final page of my application. It is directly placed on the property line with absolutely no setback. I am also in opposition to decreasing the remaining original drive and parking area. The reason being is I do use my parking pad, which is what the original design was for this area, for cars. I use it for visitors. I have the use of the garage for the for cars. And what I am concerned most about is the original parking area, which has been overbuilt by first an extension of the house, which the original parking area is 60.77 meters approximately, and about 80% of this parking area has been built over with hardscape. That means the extension on the house has extended into the original parking area as well as the deck. What this means for us in real terms is that we are unable to use the driveway as it was intended to be able to access the right-of-way. Therefore, I really must oppose any further reduction of the remaining space on the sliver of land that remains. Currently, it is also really hard to access the driveway. When I do have visitors, even the most skilled drivers, it takes a 7 to 9 point turnaround to be able to access the right-of-way. The reason being is that for us to use the driveway, people prefer to drive forward. We have had people reverse, somewhat successfully, but often my property has been impacted, and there is a real risk that the proposed structure that would take up the area for turnaround to be able to access the right-of-way would then further impinge on our ability to use the driving and parking pad that I currently maintain. Further, I am also aware that there is now I don't know, but I could not detect whether the current available drainage infrastructure that is at the front of the ancillary building is to be removed or reduced. If this is the case in the plan, then I am severely in opposition to this. This is a downward sloping piece of land that lands at the foot of my garage and the ancillary building at 81 Earlsdale. And I am very concerned that if drainage were removed or reduced, there would be an inability for that water to go anywhere but onto my property, and with the increased freeze thaw of winter, as well as the rain that would drain into my property, is a further damage to my property as well. The soft landscaping is indicated as planting on the plan. I can tell you after 19 years of gardening this space, that is dark, it is dry, and only noxious weeds are able to actually grow in that area. Therefore, the current existing space where it's being proposed for planting is not a viable place for any sort of soft landscaping that would sustain plant life. Don't get me wrong, I am absolutely proponent for green space. The front of my garden is only plants, and I would absolutely welcome more green space, especially for a garden suite. What I'm most concerned about, however, is that the requirement is a 25% of greenscape in order for a garden suite to be a garden suite, and they're proposing less than 50% of that requirement. I'm also opposed to the use of my garage wall to build a home. There are two reasons for this. First, I wish to use my garage as a garage. That's what I bought my property with. And so there will be cars running, oil changes, the use of power tools inside a building that would then directly affect anyone who resides in the garden suite. And second, should I wish to use my garden, my garage in any other way, should I wish to detach it or remove it entirely, then I would be responsible financially for the displacement of the residents of the garden suite, as well as to pay for their residency likely, as well as for any loss of rent to the income investor. I also want to take this moment very quickly that should there be any concern, any opportunity for this to build up, I wish to state that I absolutely object to any further building up. There are three main effects to this proposal, and I recognize my time is coming to an end. First, there's a material effect. What that means is the value of my property reduced by anywhere between 15 and 35%, because a garage for sale would work. And I realize we're at time. I have the other 2 points I won't state.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Ms.
Yes, I have a question. Just to clarify, because maybe I have missed what you said about the difficult to park. But I don't understand why it will be different. I thought that the garage is already there. The building is already there. So it doesn't make it worse or what?
Thank you for the point of clarification.
I don't know why it's a difficulty for you to get.
Yeah, so as you'll see on the proposal, it is stated that there is going to be a bike shed and a bins located placed directly on the property line. In order to access the right-of-way,
you mean that
I need to be able to turn around. And currently, turning around is about a 7-point turn to a 9-point turn, depending on the size of the car and the quality of the driver, to be quite frank. And so the issue is that accessing the lane is very difficult with a fixed structure. Currently, the bins take up the entirety of that north point of land that you see on the design right now. And I need to step out of the car, move the bins, turn around, drive down the driveway, walk back, move the bins back in. At minimum, they're mobile. If a fixed structure were placed without any setback on the property line, this removes any ability to swing through. Cars aren't bendy. They don't turn around corners like a spring. And so therefore, while I can appreciate, I'm an urban bicyclist. I literally bike down here today. But I will state the following, that placing a fixed object on the property line removes my ability to access the right-of-way, and I am gravely concerned about that, and the further reduction of the remaining 20% that exists on the original parking pad.
Okay, so the bicycle storage, we can ask the applicant too, is that a fixed structure? Okay, I don't realize that. It's dotted line, I thought maybe it's just space for bicycles. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So to clarify, when you're getting your car, or anyone's getting a car out of the garage, they need to use a little bit of the neighbor's like paved area just in order to maneuver. Is that my understanding?
That is correct. The original build had 2 parking pads side by side in order to turn in and out. We have to do points. Normally, you'd be able to swing through if there hadn't been further construction on the parking pad at 81 Earlsdale. However, with the extension of the house and the building of the deck, it's a multiple point turn, and by adding further structure and removing the remaining space, it eliminates my ability to both access the right-of-way with a vehicle, as well as be able to use my garage as it originally planned.
So if the bike storage and the garbage bin storage was somewhere else that wasn't blocking, would that kind of address your concerns?
That absolutely would, yes, thank you.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, I was just noticing, if I may, sorry, the diagram that we were looking at earlier, just trying to see which one. I think it's a site plan. It shows a dotted line as the right-of-way, and it doesn't quite extend all the way back. So it was just by mutual agreement that you actually had access to each other's property that was beyond the right-of-way. And that may be taken away from with the proposal that's before us. Would that kind of summarize?
Yeah, I think while I can appreciate the hard lines that we see here, suggest the property lines and the access. What it doesn't address is the real fact of moving a car around. All of us would love a bendy car that went around the corners of the city of Toronto, but we don't. They don't curve, and so there is a need to be able to move back and forth. What's not represented here is that the walkout for my basement is very close to my property. It's set back, of course, but there needs to be a number of points of turn. So the submission that I had provided had, albeit somewhat childish, drawing on the property of my own, but there is in yellow what is at stake, which is I need to be able to turn around and enter through with a forward facing. So yes, there has been a historical use of turnaround space, both on my side and the renters who parked on my property or used my property for full turnaround to be able to enter and exit the properties at 81 Earlsdale. So that is the concern that I have.
Thank you, thank you.
Through you, Mr. Chair, perhaps we can present the survey plan. And the gray area shown is what the existing easement right-of-way is between the properties.
That's it, yeah.
Yes, and it does not extend to the garage area at the rear.
Ultimately, it's the goodwill of neighbors. Thank you. Do we have anybody else in?
Through you, Mr. Chair, no one else.
Nobody else?
We'll go back to the
The agent, thank you. Mr. Smith?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd be happy to clarify some of these points.
Thank you.
Because some of it is interpretation, and I totally understand that. The bike storage, we're happy to move that to the other side. It is not a fixed structure. We are required by the city, by the zoning bylaw, to provide an area. So it is literally, a hatch on the drawing at the moment. There is no specific storage structure for bikes. We just have to prove that there is a space to keep them. I'm quite happy to move that over towards the deck. That's no issue. Garbage bins, things like that, under the requirements of the zoning bylaw, we have to require or provide a space at the front of the dwelling, not the rear. So that won't have bins back there. We'll be providing space at the front. The garage, as far as the party wall between the two structures, that wall is already jointly owned. So either way, even if it had to come down, both parties would have to agree to it. Under OPC, we're going to be vapor sealing. We're going to be doing the STC rating of the wall, fire rating, all of the things under OPC that require us to make sure that the tenants are safe in that dwelling. And of course, it'll be inspected by the city. Soft landscaping, we had originally kept it as is at 0. Community planning had asked us to increase it. We have tried to do it in a way that limits the impact of driveway use. We do respect that the right-of-way does not go all the way to the rear of the property, but being paved, we also understand that, the neighbor at 83 uses that to turn around. We're not trying to impinge on that. So like I said, the storage bins or the bike storage area was not an actual structure. The drainage in front of the suite is staying. We need to keep our unit dry, no different than it is now. And again, that section is private property between the right of way and the garage, but, we will accommodate to make sure that, it's as easy for both neighbors to use. I'd be happy to answer any questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very kindly. Let me just see if my colleagues have anything to add. If not, we'll take it into.
I don't have any more questions, but I do have some comments about, because the bicycle storage is not related to any of the variances. So if we're going to improve or suggest, is to, as a comment, to say that it's going to be moved further to the, I don't know what the north side is, but yeah, or something, away from that property line.
I'm sorry, I'm missing something that we need to put in the condition.
Because it's not really related to any of the variances.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think that is maybe between the two property owners' negotiation rather than we impose
Absolutely.
condition.
I agree with you.
Because there's not related to it. They still require all these variances as they are.
Yeah. Thank you. Perhaps we'll take it into committee and look for a motion.
Yeah.
Mr. Bissonnette, sorry, I hope I'm not leaving you out of.
Thank you, Chair. No questions or comments.
Okay.
Okay.
Motion?
Oh, I still have the same comment. What do you think?
I agree.
Yeah.
We should definitely include something,
Yeah.
even if it's just for the record.
Just for the record, we cannot impose, because we still have to, the variance will not change.
Through you, Mr. Chair, no, the variances will not change. If you wanted to tie the revised site plan,
Well, no, we don't.
with the exception, I'm just saying, with the exception of the bicycle storage to be moved to the north limits of the property, or to say that it would be abutting the deck area, then you could do that.
Okay, maybe that's what we can do. Because the revised site plan showing the increased soft landscaping area, we have to tie.
That makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah. I like your suggestion.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, please, yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the variances as revised, with tied to the revised site plans, with the exception of the bicycle storage location, which will be moved to the, is it the north side? No, it's the east side?
East, sorry.
The east side of the, towards the east side of the property. Does that
Or
make
we
sense?
could even say abutting the existing deck area.
Abutting the existing deck area, yeah.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good. I will second
Have a
that.
seconder?
Oh,
Ms. Chan?
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, I will second that.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor. All those in favor? Thank
With
you.
amended, right?
As amended, as amended.
I did say as amended.
Yeah. Mr. Smith, you have your approval. Okay, and moving on to item number 13. Item number 13, the purpose of the application is to construct a new one-story detached ancillary building, a one-car garage in the rear yard of the existing two-story dwelling abutting Mount Joy Avenue. The committee had before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, 6 photographs of the subject property received April the 8th, 2025, an encroachment permit submitted by the agent on April the 8th, 2025, and we have staff report from Urban Forestry received May 21st, 2025. And let's see.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we do have the agent online, no registered speakers for this item.
Mr. Rosenblatt, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, good afternoon. We don't have anybody in opposition, so let me just see if my colleagues have either any questions for you or possibly require a short presentation.
No.
Okay, Mr. Reid has a question for you.
Yeah, I saw that you have an encroachment agreement with the city, but I was just wondering why the encroachment is necessary.
It's necessary because if the garage, the property is 5.2 meters and the building a garage on the property, the car wouldn't fit in it.
Right.
The existing garage is 0.54 meters north of the property line, which, you know, the car, we were asking that the garage be 1.36 meters north of the property line to line up with the existing fence, but we were turned down. So we compromised that we would make the garage 0.54 meters to conform with the existing encroachment.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? No? It's a fairly straightforward application. Pardon me. Not a single variance requested. We'll take it into committee and look for a motion or comments. Motion. Anybody? Mr. Bissonnette, you want to take this?
All right, here we go. Sure. I'm happy to put forward a motion to approve the requested variance.
Forestry condition 1, I think.
Yeah, forestry condition.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Forestry condition 1.
Do we have a seconder? Mr. Reid? Okay, thank you. All those in favor? Thank you. Mr. Rosenblatt, you have your approval. Okay. Pardon me. Moving on to item number 14. Number 14, the purpose of the application is to alter the existing two-story semi-detached dwelling by reconstructing a front covered porch with stairs and a basement walkout, a rear ground floor covered deck, and a rear second floor deck. There will be 3 residential dwelling units on this lot. The committee had before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations. Pardon me, 2 photographs of trees on the subject property received April the 9th, 2025. And we've also received an 8-signature petition in support signed by owners and occupants of properties on Roxton Road.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we do have the agent online, no registered speakers for this item.
Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Chair. It's David Riley
Good
from
afternoon.
SCOLLARD Planning and Design.
Thank you. Address, please.
1547 Bloor Street West in Toronto.
Thank you, Mr. Riley. I don't believe we have anybody in opposition or of concern, none at all. Let me just see if my colleagues have any questions for you or require a presentation.
No.
Any thoughts? Perhaps I'll just start off by just the 2 things that leapt out at me were variance number 5 and number 6. I wonder if you could just speak to both of those.
Yes, absolutely, Mr. Chair. I had a feeling that both of these variances would leap out at you just on the comments I've heard today, and they would leap out at me as well. So variance number 5 is the minimum soft landscape reduction in the front yard. Variance number 6 is the minimum soft landscaping reduction in the rear yard. So I'll start with the front, and if we could pull up the site plan, I think that this would probably explain it the best. So the front of the property, you can see Roxton Road, and it's shown the dwelling here, and you can see what's existing today is a front porch, and that's typical of all the dwellings generally on this street. It's actually just to the left of where the cursor is, the subject property. And what's proposed is a reduced front porch, but also stairs that'll go down to the basement entrance, but in that same footprint of the front porch, which matches more or less, it's a little bit smaller than the attached front porch on the dwelling to the south, so on the left side of it, which matches the character of all the dwellings on the street. They typically have these large front porches. So what you have here is a front lot line that is actually situated much closer to the dwelling than it is to the road. So although when you're on the sidewalk, you perceive that this is a big front yard, actually only a small portion of that is the front yard. And with the porch and the stairs, you end up with a small amount of actual soft landscaping by numbers. But in actuality, it's the same as the existing situation today. We're keeping the same kind of narrow walkway that exists. And everything, of course, between the sidewalk and the property line will continue to be soft landscaping. And in the rear, if you could just pan up a little bit, please. What is proposed is a 40% soft landscaping in the backyard, whereas 50% is required. If I'm getting that number right, let me just double check that. Yes, and this is reflective of the existing situation on the property. In speaking to my client, I understand that the rear yard is actually a combination today of concrete and soft landscaping and the garage. In the back, there's a rear veranda proposed, entirely built, as you can see there, on the existing concrete. That's going to change. The veranda itself doesn't actually impact the soft landscaping proposed. It would be their desire just to minimize waste, to build the veranda. There's no excavation under it, but just to build the veranda on top of the existing concrete patio and not make any changes at all in the backyard. And therefore, a variance is required because it is under that minimum 50%. Certainly, that minimum could be accommodated in the backyard, even with the veranda. As you can see, that concrete patio is quite large. But our proposal is to maintain it as it exists today, again, to minimize waste, and really reflecting no change in that minimum soft landscaping.
Thank you. It's very much an existing circumstance by the looks of it.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Let me just see if any of my colleagues have any questions. None? Okay. Mr. Bissonnette, any questions? No?
None.
Okay, thank you. Perhaps we can take it into committee look for a motion.
I'm happy to make a motion.
Mr. Reid?
This is actually, I think it's very thoughtful, minimal impact change to the building that provides 3 valuable rental units. And I admire the fact that they also talked to the neighbors and got a lot of support. Clearly it fits in with the neighborhood. I think, it's designed very nicely to create this new triplex without really having any impact on the existing character of the neighborhood. So I think it's really admirable. So I move we approve it with no conditions.
Thank you, Mr. Reid. Do we have a seconder? Ms. Chan?
Yeah, I agree with the observation, and also I appreciate the explanation about the soft landscaping, especially the front. I do not think any of the property in that strip will meet the requirement.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Ms. Chan.
Yeah, okay.
We have a motion on the floor to approve. All those in favor? Thank you. You have your approval, sir.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Take care.
You too.
And finally, we get to number 15, which has been deferred, and that's the quota for this morning. Thank you very much.
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair, we'll reconvene at 2 p.m.
Thank you.